Clothes I have stolen, clones I have not, quotes I shall begin to.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
It's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. Depending on exactly what happened in your life and your job, around one of the days this week is your 1 year anniversary of the pandemic. 1 year of when your job shut down and you didn't go out anymore and restaurants shut down. One year roughly. I think I started earlier than this. I remember my birthday. I think it was a Friday. I went out to the Knicks game, the Rudy Gobert Knicks game. We went to 3 bars and a strip club. It was the most super spreader night a person could have. Aside, if I went home with someone that night,
that's more establishments you've been to
in the
last
year
5
combined.
years.
Yeah, last 5 years combined. All I needed was some strange sex to just icing on the cake of germ spreading behavior.
Yeah, I mean, you basically got it at the strip club, I imagine.
I have to. I mean, then I was so sick, remember?
Yeah.
But I didn't have the antibodies, and I never tested positive. It's how the fuck?
It is crazy that I've never gotten corona.
The fact that we, as a company, really have not had any issues, and the fact that you and I and KFC Radio as a group has not, is coronavirus is a hoax.
It is.
It's a hoax.
It's
straight up a
bizarre.
hoax.
Now, don't get me wrong. When I go out, I follow the protocols. But when
I really
when
was
I go
thinking
out
that.
all the time.
We said I really think the difference is masks.
Yeah.
Because if this company on the whole, we work with young, dumb people. They go out, they hook up, they're breaking the rules. We know this. And really nobody's gotten it. Knock on fucking wood. But why? Because I think they're generally, despite the fact, I just said, they break the rules, and I'm sure, if you're young and at Barstool Sports, I'm sure you're just partying and doing your thing. But I think everybody who works here, as dumb as they may be, has a general level of decorum, and they follow that, and you're okay. It's really as simple as that. I mean, I don't want to oversimplify it, but I'm saying for the people who just refuse to do some basic things, I think it really makes a difference, because the fact that we haven't had it is insanity.
The fact that most groups that have come back, we've been back for 6 months now,
Bro, we
More
came
than
back.
that?
We were off for a couple weeks.
July 6th we came back.
Yeah.
I remember because I took off 4th of July weekend because I was I'm going back to work July 6th.
No matter what. Yeah.
There was actually an article I saw the other day that what was it? I'm gonna read the exact headline. I remember who tweeted it. But it was basically Americans have learned that they don't like workplaces or bars. They prefer entertaining and working from home. And I was like, who are you talking to?
Yeah.
Because everyone I know about is very, very, very...
Well, you know what it is, though? Like anything else in life, I think it's the grass is always greener. I think when you have to work all the time and you're out a lot, you think I would love to just work from home, and wouldn't it be nice to just
I worked from home for a week before I was like, fuck this. And I think it's different too if you're doing Excel spreadsheets.
Yeah.
You can do this from home. But in a creative type job, I don't know, I was just working from bed every day. And you can't be creative in bed.
I liked it. I went back to the old school days when I was creating more. Being in my apartment and being even when I do 1 Minute Man at home versus when I do it here, I'm so much more comfortable at home. I put the phone in the ring light, and I can stop and start as I want. I can edit, I can trim my own shit. I just by myself, and it's I don't have to worry.
So you do prefer it? You prefer to work from home?
Yep.
Rather than coming to the office?
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yep.
I didn't know that. I thought you were like me, where it was I wanted to get back the day one.
Remember when I was I could do this standing on my head, I'll do this forever. I could do it forever. This show is obviously better in person, but everything else I would absolutely rather be at home.
Yeah, I think that's what I grabbed a beer with Lou this weekend, and he was like, "Yeah, you could do it from wherever." And I was like, "I think we've noticed that some people can make Zoom work for podcasting and stuff like that. I cannot. There's the chemistry, the energy just isn't there. I'll get disinterested. I get that's how Zooms are now, where Zooms are just phone calls where
you zone out.
You kind of just whatever, man.
Yeah,
I don't know, but it doesn't matter. Here, I'm all right, we're in it. Let's fucking do it. But even more than that is they prefer entertaining at home more than they expected and do not feel the need to go back to an office or a bar. I could not come back to an office faster. Could not go back to a bar faster. I love entertaining at home. I have people over my apartment regularly.
Yeah.
Very fun. I'd rather do it at a bar.
I feel like that's just because it's like whatever the norm is, you get kind of tired of, and the thought of like, oh, let's have people
I was never
over.
tired of the bar.
We're alcoholics, you know. That's the difference. When you love the bar with all of your
bar
heart.
is the fucking best, man.
Yeah.
Bar is awesome. Bar has that. I wrote a love letter to bars like a week into the pandemic. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, I miss bars, and it was like a true
was passion.
It was true because there's just something about a bar that doesn't have there isn't the promise of the unexpected at home.
Yeah, you know.
There
exactly
isn't the who knows where this night's gonna go.
Yeah.
There isn't the maybe we'll just fucking talk to this random person.
Yeah,
we'll
there are strangers at the bar, good or bad. There could be a fight. There could be you could hook up. You could meet someone you hate. You could meet someone you love. You can chat with a bartender. You can the sights and smells like. There's not, at home, you know exactly what it's going to be.
It's part of I think the shared experience, which we talk about with TV a lot, and then just the idea of I can't think of the word. It begins with a C.
Catalyst?
No, like we're fucking camaraderie. You have like when a door closes behind you in a bar, particularly a quiet one where like people turn their heads and look.
Now you can't leave, sort of thing.
It's kind of like you kind of look at each other like, yo, we're all we know what we're doing. Right?
Yeah, you're
And
in a
it's
foxhole
like,
together.
yo, we're all getting fucked up.
Yeah.
We're all fucking getting rid of our problems. We're with behind me closed reality. Let's fucking live here. Let's fucking do our goddamn thing. Bartender, another one. That is, you don't get that at home. You're like, oh, can you grab me a beer out of the fridge? Yeah. Fuck that. I want a nice frothy fucking beer straight out of the tap.
Pour me a beer and I'll suppress all my bad feelings with it.
Shot poured like this. We don't care about splashing. Want to make a mess.
Yep. That's why I like the sawdust on the floor too. I like the things that are different from your house because otherwise you might as well just be at your house. You know?
Yeah, and fuck the house. It is crazy to me that people are like that's a headline. It was on Axios, which I think is a pretty liberal website. I don't know if I'm correct in that, but I believe I am.
Fucking liberals. Fucking libtards.
Like, no one ever wants to leave their house again. No, I started leaving my house the second I was allowed to leave my house.
No, but I'm also on the other side of it. I could stay at home forever. I have no problem with that. That's my favorite part of the pandemic. The pandemic for me was, aside from the massive amounts of death, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Sure, 600 dead, I think 600,000 dead. But
yeah.
But
Other than
aside
that,
from that,
if it didn't
pretty good.
If it didn't come at the cost of massive casualties and like psychologically scarring for people who worked in it and all that shit.
You know what my biggest scar
it.
is? When I watch TV or movies and people in a group and I'm like, "Where's your fucking mask, you asshole?"
Really?
That's the like every single scene. Watching one show, every change of scenery. I'm like, no masks?
You are
no masks?
such a liberal snowflake.
It's just like none of you are wearing masks.
To me,
I don't think it's ever gonna change. I think for the rest of my life, even when we're done wearing masks, I think, where's your fucking mask? Are you fucking what are you being a dick about it for? Just put your goddamn fucking mask on.
I wonder how much it will I feel like it's wrapping up here to the extent that it's gonna be wrapped up, where it's like it'll just be another problem of everyday society.
You think so?
I kind of think so, yeah. Just like there's other diseases, there's other bad parts of society. Like it's, I don't know, there's the opioid epidemic is just always going on, and it's just like this is something that's happening in life that doesn't dominate what we do.
The opioid epidemic,
you can't catch it,
in public.
Right, and that'll always be the difference of it. But I'm saying like I think it'll just be around, like they always said, it'll be like a type of flu that you can catch, and it'll just be there, and it's not good. And,
but but like no masks and stuff. I think next year we'll be able masks.
Yeah, but I think it'll just be a part of.
I think 2022 will probably be done with masks.
I think it'll be like what like Asian people do, where it's like you wear it when you have symptoms and you feel sick and shit.
Yeah, that was very weird that we spent a good portion of our lives being like, look at these fucking weirdos.
Oh, absolutely.
What are they trying not to get people sick? What are they trying to stay
fucking
healthy
assholes.
and not infect other people?
Yeah.
Fucking weird.
I know, we thought they were so weird.
They do such strange things over there. We just have we care about
common decency for other people.
Communities.
Yeah. You know what it is because they care about their parents. Asians respect older people, and we're like, get these old people into a home so we can eradicate them. Cuomo is like, let's kill them all. Asian people are like, oh my God, we can't even get them, like, we don't want them to get the sniffles. Put on a mask. I feel like it was, I mean, I think the interesting part of it all is how we did like so much changing in 1 year and shit that probably was going to take like 10. And that's where I really do think that there's like all the conspiracy side of it, where it's like there were probably people in the government and technology and stocks and shit who like loved this, who were like, oh, this, now we get to like put our plan into place that we were waiting for the next like 10 years. We could just do it fucking now.
You think so?
Yeah, I feel like the amount
Like
of change that like happened. I mean, I don't know what it would be, but you know, if you are, if
I mean,
you're-
I don't know.
if you're working for like Amazon, if you're working for like a virtual, you know, anybody like a Zoom who's like, yeah, all right, we have like our plan here, and now, oh, never mind, like do everything right now. Let's exploit the fuck out of this and become like the head of the sector. You know what I mean? Like it's your chance to really. It's like when there's blood in the streets, there's like opportunity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like this provided so much opportunity if you were on the right side of things. You know, it's like how fucking the billionaires all became like all doubled their wealth during the pandemic. It's like when things go bad, rich people are happy. That's really what it boils down to. There's just so much opportunity, so much shit that changed from like my favorite parts of the pandemic was driving in and out of work with no traffic for the beginning was amazing. It was so peaceful. So like I used to like not like commuting. Now I loved commuting. I was like, I had a podcast to listen to. I put it in, no stress driving because there's no traffic, nobody on the road. I'm wearing sweatpants. I'm driving in.
I've noticed
no
you're kind of out on
tickets.
sweatpants.
Yeah, I mean, I
Very
hate
nice.
it. I hate it. It's like I'm so uncomfortable. I want to go back to sweatpants so bad. I just want to keep living in the pandemic.
Like, but I mean, you can wear sweatpants.
Yeah, I mean, I do most of the time.
I
but
think I've noticed
but-
a significant amount more buttons in Kevin Clancy's life.
I know. Because people started making comments. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll put on fucking pants again. You guys
But
really,
it is true. Like
really
it
worried
does.
about this, huh?
It does make a difference. Where you're like, boy, you aren't even trying, huh? Like when you see
Yeah.
someone in sweatpants, and they are a more acceptable form of
hate
clothing
it.
now. But I think
That's one of the good parts is that like the athleisure really stuck to the point that it's more acceptable.
it is. But it
I
still is.
loved when it was every day. I was like
But-
that to me. If we could stay that way, I would do that absolutely forever.
I think the athleisure in order to be pulled off has to be worn like an aggressive look. Like you can only do it once in a while. Because if you just do an athleisure every day, you're like, not even a shower today, huh?
Yeah, that's what I liked when that.
I'm not speaking
there
specifically
was-
about you, although I am. But
When there was no level of judgment on that to me, that's our final form as humans, where we just stop caring about clothing.
I think that excuse me. I think that we care more about clothing. It's just we care about different kinds of clothing.
You think we care more about clothing now?
I think people if you're putting on an athleisure outfit, it's a fucking delicate dance. And I think if you're actually trying to pull it off, you're thinking more about it. Because if you're just popping on like baggy sweatpants without a fucking whatever in the bottom and a ripped hoodie, you're like, you can't be like, what's athleisure? You have to like.
That's what I love. Like the idea of athleisure is supposed to be like the ath part is supposed to be like you're working out, you're going to the gym. It's part of like the athletic side of things. I was like, this is just leisure. These are leisure clothes. I am wearing leisure pants. There's no ath for me. It's just sweatpants and hoodies with no
You
intent.
walked from the parking garage.
Yeah, that's my athleticism at this point is walking from the parking garage. The no FOMO sweatpants, no FOMO in sweatpants is, and everything being like
I have neither of these. I have more FOMO than ever.
FOMO of what? What's
FOMO of
happening?
everything. And anything like
What's anybody doing that you're?
Everyone's doing everything. Like, if you look on Instagram stories, everyone's out at bars. Everyone's out, like, people are in different fucking states. They're in different. I'm going to fucking Colorado this weekend because guess what? There's a big storm in Colorado. Apparently, I have FOMO over that. Apparently, I'm like, what? We're getting dumped on snow? Gotta be in Denver for this. I had one buddy text
Tom
me.
became a storm chaser.
I had one buddy text me, like, dude, fucking Denver's getting 1,000-year storm. I'm like, well, then I'm getting a ticket.
Is it really? They're calling it one of those storms?
It's like they've already gotten like 3 feet and they're gonna continue to get like dumped on. And I'm like, fresh pow, gotta be there.
Gotta shred the gnar.
Twice in the last 3 years. So yeah, I still have FOMO, I think, Kevin. We were discussing yesterday driving 6.5 hours from Denver to Telluride to go heli skiing. I put the kibosh on
I was
that
gonna
one.
say,
I said, look,
heli
I'm flying
skiing,
across
bud.
the country for 48 hours. I think I'm going to save the 12-hour round-trip drive.
Dude, if you go hella skiing, John, you might be more suicidal than I thought.
I mean, if it wasn't 6.5 hours away, I'd go in a heartbeat. I'm just not.
Can you heli ski?
Well, yeah, heli skiing, it's not as intense as people think it is.
Are you jumping out of a helicopter?
Not really. Like, it's maybe a little bit, but it's not like.
Are you jumping out of a helicopter?
Probably a little bit.
Then it's about as intense as I think it is.
But then you ski down the mountain and the helicopter just picks you up and brings you back up. It's fucking sick. It's no lift lines, no shit. It's fucking awesome. But it's not like Warren Miller, like fucking jumping from 50 feet up. It's
yeah.
I honestly
Kinda
don't know
hopping
how
out.
exactly it works.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen. I've
gotta
only
be-
seen it in like Warren Miller movies.
That is some height people shit. Like
only
combining.
$1,500 for the day. I was like, fuck, that's beautiful.
That's pretty pricey.
$1,500 for the chopper for the day, not per person. You can have 4 people in the chopper.
That's not bad.
Yeah, like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like $300.
But
a day
really,
to
when
go
you
skiing out west.
think about like skiing and like is an extreme sport that's like a super white people thing, and then we're also going to jump out of a flying aircraft. That is white people right there.
So,
man.
yeah, FOMO. I have it.
Yeah, I don't have. I mean,
I have it just like when I watch like
I barely had it anyway, but that's what I loved. I loved when there was like what I love to do most in this world is just like hang out with or without somebody I like, without like I can be around like my family or close friends, or I could be solo, have like a new series to watch, some food delivered, and I'm comfortable. That's
love doing
what I
that,
love
too.
doing. And then when everybody was doing that and there was no pressure to do anything but that, I was like, this is it. Like you people have come to my level. Like you're welcome to my party. I've been doing this forever, and now we're all here together, and there's no talk of doing anything else, and I don't have to feel bad about not doing anything else or pressure to do anything else. And it was amazing.
it was nice that was a nice vacation, but it was short. I think people, we kind of talked about it last episode. I think people have a short memory about how bad it was and how short it was. We're like, we really started going out again pretty soon, pretty quick. It wasn't like, yeah, we're all locked in. We were locked in for like a month, maybe 2, and then we just kind of just started
Everybody
going
was like
out.
secretly just breaking the rules.
We would just go, but like no, we were going to bars. Like, so this started in March. I was going to bars fairly regularly in May. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like New York was open, Rhode Island was open when I was still home. I'd come down to New York for like a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It was not a long time of being like we are all locked in here. It was quick, and then
Yeah,
but-
to
and then
me,
that's
like
when the
I
FOMO came.
have like the fond memories again. It sounds
You came to Rhode
sounds
Island for
rude.
in May.
Yeah, was that like late May? Was that
Yeah.
like Memorial Day-ish? Yeah. I feel like, again, to not to like discount the horror of it all, but like that period of time where like when it was still kind of cold and as bad as it was in hindsight, like the Tiger Kings or the Last Dance or the things where we all were, and especially like for content, where
Both
it
of
was
those
like we're
fucking
all,
sucked, by the way.
The Last Dance?
Both
No,
of those
The
were
Last
garbage.
Dance was awesome.
That was some pandemic shit. You're
No,
talking about like big
Tiger
big,
King was.
big
Last Dance
media
wasn't.
being like, oh, thank God for this. Fucking ESPN and Netflix, thank God for it, because both those shows fucking stunk.
No way. Tiger King was terrible. But Last Dance would have been like if because that was going to be
Last Dance
a big
was
deal no matter
fine.
what.
I'm only lumping it in with Tiger King because they were brought up at the same time. It was fine, but I didn't finish it. I think I watched like 7 of the 10, whatever it
Oh,
was.
I think you're probably in the minority on that one. I feel like that was actually well done because that was going to be like Tiger King was just going to be like a Netflix thing that we all hopped on because we kind of needed it. But had that just gone off as planned, where they aired it during the NBA Finals, it would have been like a different type of like experience. But that was going to be a big.
The Dennis
big
Rodman episode
sports-
was the only one I thought was like good.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that I could watch.
They all had,
I
like,
could
a
watch
line or two
again
that was
right
pretty
now.
interesting.
Like, I thought all of them were pretty like memorable and like, and I mean, I guess it depends on too if you like grew up in that era and you watched it all. But to me, that period of time where it was like everybody on the same page, it was like again, it just if it didn't come with the copious amounts of death and struggle and unemployment, live that way forever. I hope that's what retirement is. I hope that's what the afterlife is. The afterlife for me will be that. And again, that on top of it with the comfortability of it all, because that's where companies like Cuts Clothing. See, this is what I mean. Like Cuts Clothing had themselves a year because this is like the perfect combination. I'm wearing the hoodie right now of where You can wear this to work. You can wear this out. You could wear this to the gym if you're working out. You can wear it around your couch just to lounge. Like they talk about perfect timing.
They take the thought of the athleisure. That's like okay,
yeah,
it
and
just
the way they
that
do it,
you can
like
just put on.
There actually are some that have like they have that cool logo with like the little pins that are like in an X, and they have one that just says cuts in like a block letters. So if you do want a little something to look at, a little like focal point, you can get that. But most of them are just plain with like blue, white, black, tan, gray, like the essentials. They went from the t-shirts to the hoodies. They've got the pants to go with it. And it's just no thought, easy peasy, comfortable, stylish enough that it's like you're not going to look like the slob where you're just wearing like a ripped hood and baggy sweatpants. Like real clothes, nice materials that are kind of versatile and you can wear everywhere, whether you were locked down in the pandemic or once you got out and were able to go to the bars and, live your life. Cuts Clothing covers all of it. Started in 2016, so it's like just a truly modern company that like I think is kind of exactly what the world was heading towards, and then just went into like hyperdrive with. I think that's like the main thing I think everything that we are now is like we were headed that way. We got there like 5 or like 10 years earlier, and Cuts Clothing, companies like them are like right there at the forefront to help with that transition. And right now you can get 15% off when you go to cutsclothing.com/Clancy. It's one of every single day at this point I'm grabbing something off the top of the pile that's either a t-shirt or a hoodie or pants from them. So Cuts is in my rotation and in my wardrobe almost once a day, every day, all week long. So it's cutsclothing.com/Clancy. You get 15% off on the only shirt worth wearing. They have all the different styles, all the different cuts, all the different colors for that sleek, modern look that any guy can wear. Go to cutsclothing.com/Clancy. We got Kerryn Feehan on the show today and Nate Bargatze. So 2 very funny comedians. Kerryn's a fucking wild, she's a wild card.
She's
the wild card of the crew.
Juxtaposition between the two of them.
I was going to just say that. Like, you got Nate, 2 comics coming from opposite ends of the spectrum. Kerryn being just an absolute wild lunatic, and Nate just being like, Nate is
the greatest average living American.
Yeah.
The greatest average American.
I would say Nate is not a comedian. Nate is just the funniest person alive who tells jokes on a stage. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even think because so many comics do have the reputation of like some of them are crazy and they're recovering alcoholics, and some of them are like have this wild background where they can draw from these stories that are unheard of, and I turned my pain into humor, all these things. And then there's Nate, and he's just like, I play
Nate
golf
might be the worst
and
one. Nate grew up getting yelled at by a clown. And I believe that's the name of his first comedy album. Is Yelled at by a Clown.
Yeah, he has his own like hurtful experiences in his own weird Nate way, but he just happens to be the funniest person like fucking alive, where everything he says is money. And now he just like golfs and tells jokes. It's an incredible life. So both those guys on the show today. We got Am I the Asshole and voicemails, of course. One of the comics who I think is like I guess in a weird way similar to Nate. I watched the Patrice O'Neal special, and he was kind of like not really. He was like a comic, but he was like, I hate entertaining people. It's like I hate like having to make these people laugh, which is such a weird. It's like, well, what are you doing in this industry then? But
go beyond the office.
Patrice is such a weird thing. Now that he's dead, like, and so many of the top, he had that heralded comic, the Dave Attell, the Colin Quinn, like, you're so funny and so good at this that the comedians revere you, not just the fans. But at the same time, everything I hear about him is how much of just a fucking asshole he was. And they all say that. They're like, yeah, I like Patrice was a dick and I hated him, but he was great, man. And I'm like, what? What does that mean? And when you watch this special, it's really well done, and like all your favorite comics are in it.
It's on DVR.
It's on. I watched it on.
What the fuck is DVR?
I don't know what that meant either.
Yeah,
You mean like on demand?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I watched it on. It's funny to bring it up on Vudu, which was like one of the things we drafted because I just searched for it and it was like, yeah, this is some sort of video on demand for movies, so I had to like sign up for Vudu to watch it. which was a pain in the ass, I will admit. But it's from All Things Comedy. I don't know why that's like Bill Burr's network. I don't know why it wasn't just like on one of the regular streaming services, but it's like $2.99 or $3 or something like that. It's well worth it. But he was definitely like a cool cat, interesting cat. Like there was a part where he was talking about how he was doing web junk, which was kind of like Daniel Tosh sort of like stand in front of a green screen, talk about like shit that was happening on the internet, you know? And he like probably could have he's like I could have just kept doing that and probably been like pretty rich and not famous, but like well known. And he's like, I don't want to do that because then I get like 17-year-old girls showing up at my shows being like, what? That wasn't web junk. Like, what was that about? He's like, I don't fucking want those people. And he really like lived that life where it was like, I don't want. He's like, I want to be like rich and successful, but like on my own terms, you know. And which is just cool now, seeing how much like that was kind of like ahead of its time, where it's like you can sell out now and you can go do like certain things that are like, yeah, you'll get like 1 million followers or whatever, but not the followers you want, really, you know. So he had like a real, and I guess he just like sabotaged everything he ever did, where. Like, he would go on the set of a show, and everyone would be like, this guy, we fucking hate this guy, get rid of him. Like, get him out of here. He wouldn't play ball with any, like, the Hollywood execs.
I was going to say, on The Office, they must have really hated him.
Yeah, I don't think that worked well. He was on The Office. He was on Arrested Development. He was, like, funny enough that he got... Yeah, he was working... He was T-Bone. He would work in the banana stand. Yeah. So he always, like, got those looks, and I think they just never stuck. But what was sad was he did Elephant in the Room, which was his big special. And then I think he made an appearance somewhere. And there's a clip of him on a radio show, and he was like, I think I'm like 6 to 9 months away. I think he said I'm like 6 months to a year away from like fame. And he right in the middle of that 9 months is when he died. So like I think he thought he did it.
How did he die?
He had diabetes and he had a stroke. And that was sad too, like because he talks about like having a problem with food, and he says all the time like, I'm not here for a long time. Like he talked to his fiance about having kids, and he was like, I'm not comfortable with the idea of leaving you alone with the kid because like I'm not here for a long time, so I don't want to do it. But the girl had her own daughter from another marriage, and he like was her stepdad and raised her, and like there's a part where she spoke at his funeral and was like, everybody talks about Patrice being so funny and being this comic and da-da-da, and like nobody talks about him being like a good dad. I want to like talk about him. I was like, oh my God, I'm sitting here crying at a Patrice O'Neal fucking video. But just like, it's such a weird, I don't know if it's because he was that funny or because he died or a combination of both, but it's like, this guy was a jerk to people. And they're telling you that. Like, I just don't know anybody, I can't think of anybody that compares, whether they're famous or like in my life, where it would be like, if I was just like, yeah, Feitelberg was a fucking dick.
You can't think of anyone who compares?
That is also beloved. Oh, yeah, I guess so.
No one comes to mind, Kevin. No, I will. That is a joke. Dave has never really been a dick.
Yeah, no, but no. But you're right. But no, here's the difference. It's that the people who like Dave don't think he's a dick.
I like Dave, and I think he can be a dick. I wouldn't say if you were okay. Let's say Dave dies tomorrow, and I'm involved in the special. Mm-hmm. I'd be like, Dave was Dave. You know, like that's how you started.
Yeah.
You know, Dave was Dave. You know?
Okay, that's funny. So Donnell Rawlings is one of the guys, and he's like, this is the part where I'm supposed to say what a great guy he was because he's dead, and in death comes like good things. I'm gonna say like what Patrice would want me to say. Patrice was an asshole. He was funny. He was my friend, but he was an asshole. So, but you're right.
I don't think Dave's an asshole. Like I would not be like Dave was a dick. I would be like look, Dave. Sometimes he'd be a dick. So for sure,
yeah.
But Dave, I don't think Dick is on the first line of Dave's obituary. I think it's like,
I hope not.
It's like line 3. Like sometimes El Presidente could be an asshole.
Yeah.
But I do think Dave, like my experiences with Dave Portnoy are always like we're pretty good.
Yeah,
we're fine. Yeah. We get
He's
each
fair.
other.
Like
yeah.
Well, what I think what's weird with Barstool, and I guess a little bit with the comics, is like, and this is a good point. I was listening to Two Bears, and Bert was close enough with him, but Patrice was like, we're not friends. You and I are not friends. We're like comics in the same industry, and we get along, but we're not friends. So like, stop calling me your friend. Which was like, again, just like you're just being a dick, dude. Like you're not allowing me to call you my friend.
That's so like there could be someone at Barstool Sports who I've never met, and they're like, yeah, I'm friends with Feitelberg.
Right.
And I'd be like, who's that? And they'd be like, oh, he says he works at Barstool. I'm like, oh yeah,
we're
he's
friends.
a good dude.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know if it was like, I think they said it was almost like a cultural thing too, like a white and black thing. Where, but Patrice was like, yeah, like, could I sleep on your parents' couch? And Bert was like, no, they probably would be like, who the fuck is this guy? And he's like, yeah, then we're not friends. I was like, that's a pretty high bar for friends.
Pretty high bar, but guess what? Patrice O'Neal could sleep on my parents' couch. Parents don't care. My friend Patrice, he's gonna crash here for a little bit. They'd be like, all right,
sounds good. I think, but it's like weird.
I did that with one friend for the whole summer. I didn't even live at home.
You stayed at a friend's couch?
I had an apartment, and that friend was working in Boston, so he's like living closer to, like, he needed to stay at my parents' house. Was closer.
Oh, they stayed at your parents' house.
Yeah, and they stayed for like 3 months, but then my mom was like, it might be time for him to go.
3 months every day?
Every day.
Were they like separate?
Maybe it wasn't 3. Might have been 2. I forget. It was a couple of months in the summer.
But that's a long time. Were they like using the bathroom and eating dinner?
No, they had enough bathrooms and stuff like that. But it was like,
so they were like separate enough.
It was separate enough, but it was.
Were they like seeing each other in the morning? Like,
Oh yeah.
That's wacky. Was it one of your close friends?
It's a close friend. Yeah.
Do I know?
No, it's my buddy from New Orleans.
It's not that close then. I don't know.
We
Like,
went to high school together.
oh, okay.
So,
Yeah,
like,
just
it
a
was-
different era. Yeah.
So it was like it was like shortly after high school. But it was like, I forget how long it was, but it was enough time where my mom, like, it was fine for a long time. She's like,
That's enough.
might be enough, right? Like,
I think what's funny in both worlds is like, are you friends or are you coworkers in a way? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because like,
I don't fucking do that shit. I guess I'd be like the fucking, like, the fuck boy in a romantic comedy. Like, I don't do labels. Like, I don't know. Like, you're all my friend.
yeah,
I'm not like, well, we're in yeah, if you want to push come to shove with it.
Yeah.
Like, I think I heard Tommy doing it the other day. Tommy's like, are we friends or are we coworkers? I'm like, no, it wasn't with me. I could overhear him. And like, I'd call Tommy my friend. If you want to like break it down,
Right.
yeah, I guess we're probably just coworkers, but like,
Right.
you're my friend.
would you go to? How many funerals would you go to at Barstool Sports?
Depends how many a majority of people went to.
Which ones will I be judged if I do or do not go to?
I would go to like
Like
that person died.
You
not
go to
their
Tommy's
mom,
funeral, right?
That like, yeah, Tommy. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I'd go to Tommy's funeral.
I feel like I would go to everybody's funeral at Barstool Sports.
It's a big company. Like,
Maybe not. I'm not gonna business. I don't know. Content.
Okay, yeah,
I
we're
can't
just
think
talking
of
our
a-
side of the room.
I can't. I think if someone in content died and I didn't go to their funeral, that would be a huge asshole move.
Yeah. Okay, we're talking. I'm like, we're not
'Cause
talking
that
about
was
fucking
also-
the people out in L.A. Right? Like,
No,
okay.
I didn't even. There's people out in LA.
Yeah, there's like fucking
Like
business
some salespeople.
out-
Yeah, no.
sales and business
Talking
people.
about like this floor basically. This area over here.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, that area. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll go to all the
I
funerals.
thought you meant Alex Cooper.
Oh no.
Nah, you know,
I'm gonna get
we're not going to
invited to
that.
that
Yeah.
one.
Get an invite to her
I think
funeral.
you specifically
I don't think I'm on
mentioned
the
in her
guest
will.
list.
Like,
Get turned away at the door.
I do not want John Feitelberg at my funeral. It is bad for my brand.
Tim Dillon was on BFFs, and they were talking about the skit he made where he was like pretending he was like, I'll be the next Call Her Daddy co-host with Sophia leaving. And he was, I guess he was talking about like trying to get on the show, and they were like, yeah, no, absolutely not. Alex Cooper will not be having you on her show at all. No fucking chance. I feel like, like Bill Burr and like Jim Norton and those guys were like friends with Patrice. And then there's like a lot of comics who he like came across. So it's like, and I think that's kind of similar, same vibe here at Barstool, where it's like, which guys are like friends and which guys are coworkers, Like Dave was out with the Chicago guys. Like all the Chicago guys work together, and he was telling them like, me and Dan and Dave, me, Dan and Kevin, like don't go out to get drinks together and hang out. Like we're not friends. We're just we coexist and we like get shit done. And I think that's where but like fans,
and they
I
were
think-
surprised by that.
I think so, because those guys are like on top of each other and like living, each other's lives. It's like you don't have to do that. You shouldn't do that. I think it makes it hard. Where it's like, I think we've been able to coexist. Me and you are friends, but like me and Dave are able to get shit done because it's just like come together, do some work, go separate, and like that's it, But I think fans and people want it to be friends. You know what I mean? Like you want to think that all the comics are best friends together, and it's like no, they just are on the headline at the club at the same time. Like Barstool, it's like yeah, we just. What other company do you assume that everyone at ESPN is like best friends?
No,
It's weird.
It is.
I
weird
guess
here.
it's a size
And
thing.
Actually, I
When we
would
were
think my
small-
like best friend, the people I hang out with the most of this company, people would be very surprised. It's like Zach, Pat, PFT, like Rudy.
What you said, Zach? Fucking that guy.
Zach, Pat, PFT, Rudy, Cons. Something people I hang out with the most.
Yeah, well, because that's also like there's your friends, then there are the people who are social and go out,
Right,
and then then there's the friends who are social and go out. You know what I mean? Like some of them are just going to be at the bar at the same time as you. Some of them are going to be at the bar at the same time as you, and you're friends with them.
I forgot Casey. Casey probably wouldn't be a surprise. Whoops.
Casey's gonna be talking to her therapist about that one now. Jesus Christ.
Nick Tirani.
That's gonna be
my bad, Casey.
Casey's gonna have an entire episode of the mental health thing with Bailey about that one now. Which I've got a bone to pick. We're gonna get into Feitelberg's notebook in a second, but it's time that I just finally put this on record. And I know you're with me on this one, that making your bed is just so overhyped and just a complete waste of fucking time.
Yeah.
I'm sick of hearing about it. It's had its moment in the sun, and I don't want to hear about it anymore.
I agree.
It's become so goddamn cliche, Bailey Carlin. I'm gonna wait for you to make your bed, and I'm gonna kill you, and I'm gonna put your dead body in the bed, and I'm gonna ruffle it all up so that when they find your dead body, they're gonna be like, oh, he was dead in an unmade bed. I want your whole brand to go down in flames. I'm okay. I've been arguing with him about it like every single day after I finally unmuted him on Twitter, and I saw that he tweets every day, make your bed, and I just constantly be chirping back, don't bother, don't make your bed, it's not a big deal. If you make your bed and it works for you, that's fine. But you just have to acknowledge that this is a made-up construct in your head to assign value to this thing, right? I mean, that's all it is. It's just a made-up idea. And if it works, great. But there just is nothing inherently about that matters.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, who's to even say what a made bed means?
Wait, we talk about this with Kerryn, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna go heavy on the not made bed segment this podcast.
Well, yeah. She just kind of.
We did like 10 minutes on it with her.
Oh, okay. All right. We don't have to do that. All right. So let's get into Johnny Notebooks.
This is so stupid, by the way.
We did this once with emails. Remember that?
Yeah.
There was a time where you would email yourself, and once.
But that
or
was when
twice,
I was drunk. This
right,
is just like
these are drunk. Yeah, Feitelberg drunk thoughts was one thing. I am more intrigued in Feitelberg sober thoughts.
they're not even thoughts. They're just this is just rapid fire. I don't even know if I want to put a segment tag on this yet because that's a lot of responsibility to have. Like, I don't think any of it's interesting enough. Like, okay, so we actually started talking about the pandemic and when things are going to be getting better at the end of it. I'm not going to a concert until 2023. That's a promise to you right now.
Because
I just will not be able to bear musicians coming out and talking about the pandemic after 2 hit songs. Where it's like, like they'll come out and fucking do, give me a band. Maroon 5 will come and do She Will Be Loved. And then, I don't know why it was Maroon 5. and then they'll do, I
was going to say, and then.
What's the, 'cause my heart, yes, Sugar. I don't know how I got to Sugar from there, but I did. But they'll come out and they'll do She Will Be Loved, and then they'll do Sugar, and they'll be like, guys, we've been looking forward to this year. We're so happy to be here. We're so happy to get to share these moments with you again. We're so happy. And like we lost a lot of loved ones over the pandemic, man.
Yeah.
And, this next one's for them. And I'll be like, shut the fuck up and play fucking. I got another one in the bank. Come on.
I know there's a Cardi B song somewhere in there, right? But I don't know it.
I don't know. But whatever. And like, just like, I was thinking the other day, just thinking about frontmen singers working on their opening monologues and
they
trying to be exceptionally deep. And it's like, just play Freebird, man.
They say the same thing about the comedians getting back on stage, where it's like all your jokes are pandemic related.
Dude,
like, let's just get past this whole section and return because you're really not getting over the pandemic if everything you do is still talking about the pandemic and hanging on the pandemic.
It didn't happen. It's actually, I was thinking about it. I was grabbing. I think I mentioned earlier. I got a beer with Lou the other day, and like as soon as we sat down, it was just like, man, this is crazy, huh? Like, not really. And then it's like, I want New York to be back. I'm like, I think it is. And it's like, what do you? And like, I just give one word answers now. I'm turning into the asshole we were just talking about, where it's just like I've done this with literally every single person.
Yeah.
I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you think about the vaccine? Like, probably gonna get it.
Yeah. Probably gonna vaccinate me from the
And then
disease.
people are like, oh, like the vaccine. Like, shut the fuck up. Let's just pretend it's not happening. It is like what we've talked about before with fucking small talk, where you're like, just do it.
Yeah, you're the
It's
asshole
easier.
for not engaging in it, but then eventually you reach a breaking point where it's just like, I can't.
You have a point where you're just like, I can't do this anymore. I
Mm-hmm.
just can't do it. I can't. It just feels silly.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually, we talk about a little bit of cancel culture with Kerryn, and I'm there with cancel culture too.
Yeah, it's hard to talk
I
about.
saw a fucking picture the other day. This is a true picture of a screenshot from Fox News. It was the goddamn fucking Muppets and fucking Dr. Seuss and a couple other people with a stamp over them that said canceled. And I was just like, you can't do that and think you're being serious, right? Like, no one who uses the word canceled right now can't do it without an eye roll, right?
Yeah,
Can't be like, all right. I mean, like, I'm gonna say we're getting canceled. It's like what we used to say when people got mad that Barstool people would get like attack them, and we would be like, well, that's just part of being a public person. People get mad at what you say sometimes. That's just what canceled is.
Yes.
No one's fucking trying to like fire. Like, no one's emailing advertisers. Like, people are just yelling at you on Twitter.
Right.
It's just part of like
Yeah,
something.
like the I mean, we've talked about it at length, but like originally canceled meant like you are no longer employable.
Right.
You lose all your sponsorships, you get deplatformed, and like you can't contribute or make money from society anymore. That happened to like 2 or 3 people total who all really deserved it.
Who all went to
You know?
jail?
Yeah, the Bill Cosbys, the Harvey Weinsteins, the R. Kellys,
But
and that's really it.
Once cartoons started getting involved,
Yeah,
I
it's
was like,
God.
you can't,
But
you can't not roll your eyes at this, right?
What is worse though? I can't decide because there's always 2 groups. There's the one group who is like acting like we're losing sleep over the fact that Pepe Le Pew can't be out anymore, and then there's the group that's acting like we really need to worry about what Pepe Le Pew is. Like each side is equally ridiculous.
I guess I hear more from the other side, the one that it's ridiculous that Pepe Le Pew can't be out.
Yeah, but I think the people who are like
that's because of my
like
echo
yeah,
chamber.
Pepe Le Pew
We're like,
is
they
a
cancel them. I'm like, they can't cancel a cartoon.
the Pepe Le Pew is a racist, a rapist skunk, like, and it's deplorable. But I also whatever. I don't care. There's the other side being like, this is grooming young men to become rapists. It's like that's pretty fucking silly too. And I can't. Sometimes it depends on I guess which topic it is. I can't decide who's more ridiculous. Like something must have happened this morning because I had 3 DMs in a row on Instagram at like 7:30 in the morning, being like, how come Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion can scissor each other on stage?
Oh,
but
that
Pepe
was
Le
like
Pew is
one
getting-
person like said that, and then like Dante said that on Twitter the other night. Which by the time Dante had said it at the Grammys, it was already like an eye roll, fucking stupid thing. Where, like,
Yeah.
Think about this. It would always think think. Let me think
Yeah,
about this.
yeah.
Like you're about to say something incredibly profound.
Right.
Let me just run something through that brain of yours real quick. Okay.
Try this on for size.
How about, let me tell you this. Just think about it. WAP is more welcome in schools now than Dr. Seuss is. Like,
And they and,
you
and,
think
and
that?
they're
Do
all
you really think
saying
that?
it. They're all saying it like
it was their thought.
yeah.
Everyone is just their
That's
thought.
why I thought it was so weird. It was like 7:30, 7:34, 7:38.
Yeah.
3 people being like, Pepe Le Pew's canceled, but WAP is okay. And I'm like, and I'm thinking like, I want to go on Twitter and see like if one main account said
Yeah.
that, and that's
Like,
why I'm now getting all the tweets.
It was
all the
definitely
DMs.
someone,
Yeah.
someone on like a right wing side said that. Like, just think.
Ben Shapiro said this.
Like you're. It probably was.
probably Ben
And,
Shapiro.
like people are like getting into
Tommy
2nd
Larry.
grade class, and now
Yeah.
now I want to gag, I want to choke, and like
Yeah.
fucking 2nd grade is repeating
Right.
back to like
That-
That's
yeah.
not how it works. You goddamn fucking morons.
Right. It is.
It's more welcome in schools than it. No, it's not. WAP isn't taught in schools. Neither is Dr. Seuss, really, I don't think.
I know.
I don't
It's
remember
also-
learning Dr. Seuss in school either.
It's all so nuts, man.
But anyway, that was it's. I am banning people in my life from talking about vaccines, COVID.
Brother, you are not going to a concert until like 2025. Then
I know
it's
I
gonna linger.
I haven't
man.
been to many concerts anyway.
I was gonna say I'm
but
not going to a concert because it's awkward to go to concerts.
I think the last concert I went to was Hall & Oates. I fit right in. I was there with 7
Wow.
Colombian girls. It was their idea to go.
Wow. One thing I learned coming up next week.
It was. I think they were just doing it to like placate me. Like the next night we went to fucking
Benny Blanco or some
no,
shit.
the next night we went to
J Balvin.
It's
our turn.
All right, we'll take the gringo to Hall & Oates real quick, and then we'll fucking take him to Columbia on the L.
What else is in that book of yours?
Okay. This one I don't really get. This one's kind of funny, actually. Okay. Erica Fleischman, block your ears, please. When I get shampooed by a girl at the shampoo place, I get girls who like their hair pulled.
Yeah, no.
I was getting my hair cut the other day. I'm like, pull it harder.
Yeah. I don't even know if anybody has to earmuff it. I think that's just the fact of nature.
She was like kind of like slowly doing it. I was like, you're rough.
Yeah, get it? Like just like biting his lip back there. Yeah.
Pull a
Yeah,
razor
girl.
out of my pocket and cut my fucking arms. Became a cutter. I became a cutter. I did it on the inside of my thighs, actually. I take my belt off and just hand it to her.
Imagine that she's like, sit down, and you're like, okie dokie. Here you go.
Don't say anything.
She's like, what is this for?
You know what it's for.
Yoink.
You know what it's for.
What's your Venmo tip? Here's your tip, girl. Got to pay extra for that.
It was on, and that was the first time ever where like I really felt that, but I was like, come on, you're a little rough.
Don't be shy.
Just slap me in the face.
Doing your.
I opened my mouth wide. What are you doing?
Did you see
What do
Trey
you think
Songz,
I'm
bro?
doing? Spit.
Did you see the Trey Songz spit? That loogie. That.
Come on, Mama Bird, hit me. Go.
All from a haircut, folks. This is all coming from a haircut. You gotta be fucking kidding me. This man is out here cawing. It all stemmed from a haircut. Come on, Mama Bird. I haven't had lunch yet. I'm hungry. Hey, you get your haircut at noon? No, I got lunchtime. Don't worry. Two birds, one stone, literally. Don't worry. We can do it all in one shot.
Fucking wanted to get in my eyes. Not to spit the shampoo, make it burn. Johnson, no more tears. No, thank you. You got a bucket of acid over there. Dump that on me.
Goodbye. Goodbye. What else is in that fucking book? That book of horrors.
Okay. I think I've decided I'm just gonna start stealing quotes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Like just attributing them to me. I think we can do it. I think enough time has passed in history that we can just start taking them. I
think we do.
saw.
Don't we steal stuff all the time?
I don't think so, dude. Like, no, I mean like famous quotes. Like, let's just say they're ours.
Oh, they said clothes.
No,
Quotes.
Quotes.
Yes, okay.
What'd you think I said?
Clothes. Like I'm gonna start stealing clothes.
Clothes. Oh,
Yeah.
at least said
And then-
clones.
so at
We're
first-
really fucked up here.
At first, I thought you meant you were gonna start physically.
What clones are you taking, dude?
At first, I thought you meant you were gonna start literally stealing like clothes off the rack, and then I thought you meant like designing them and saying that they're yours. And now I understand quotes.
No.
Yeah.
No, clothes.
Yes.
Clothes I have stolen. Clones I have not. Quotes I shall begin to.
Amen. In nomine Spiritu, in nomine Sancte.
Don't fire till you see the whites of their eyes. John Feitelberg. Dude, I saw it.
I mean, that's a great gig right now. Just stealing.
The other day, there were two in particular where it was. So it's a quote that it was like I guess it was MJ's birthday or something recently, and they put up like his best quotes on SportsCenter's Instagram, and one was like, "There's no I in team, but there is in win." That wasn't Michael Jordan who said that first.
No.
Kobe got that. Shaq gave it to Kobe with there's no I in team, Kobe. Nah, but there's a me in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
And the one that really put me over the edge was like, that's it. I'm taking quotes now. Was someone said, Brianna Chicken Fry retweeted someone that said, I'm living my life like Brianna Chicken Fry from now on. I'm living my life how she said she would. We can sleep when we're dead. And I'm like, Brianna Chicken Fry's getting, I'll sleep when I'm dead? then I'm just taking everything from now. Anything that happened 50 years ago or more, I said.
Ask not what you can do for your country, but John Feitelberg.
Like, I'm just going full.
I have a dream. KFC.
But I just fucking recited. I wrote the goddamn Constitution.
That
too.
really is so true, though. Like, if there's one thing we have learned this year, something has happened. This has always happened, but something has heightened it this year, where there's a huge generational gap where it's like, you don't know who this person is, and I don't know who this person is. That's at an all-time high. So quotes fall right into that, where it's like, I've never heard anybody say that before.
Right.
And I don't know if it's the younger generation is stupider than ever, or the older generation is less plugged into the younger generation more than ever. But right now, it's right for the pickings. You can steal whatever you want, and people are going to be like, I've never heard that before.
That was profound from John.
It's like, yeah, man. The smart people said that way before me.
This little piggy went to market. This little piggy went to town. This little piggy, I don't know the whole thing. I'll have to memorize the quotes I'm going to steal. But that's also I honestly, it actually might be too much work for me to steal quotes, because I think I just accidentally run into something interesting far more than I could like sit down,
think it out, and steal it,
and be like, all right, I'm going to memorize this.
What if you could have one quote be yours? What would it be?
Oh boy. One quote be mine.
It's a great like dude, I was looking up the words that Shakespeare invented.
Oh yeah.
He's got some awesome shit to his name, man. You know he invented skim milk?
Skim milk?
In 1598.
So he invented
the term skim milk. I would have thought that was like 1975.
Yeah.
Like some diet like craze,
For
you know?
sure.
Nope, Shakespeare, skim milk. But he also invented swagger. That's so fucking
swagger.
cool. Like, that's such a cool fucking word to be like, yeah, like, this guy walked in and wearing his cloak, and he had his sword, and he had his fucking cool horse. He just had so much swagger. Write it down. Fucking write it down,
You know
man.
what's really embarrassing? By you bringing up the word swagger, I thought of the quote I would want, and it is, Soulja Boy, tell him.
Yo, shout out to Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy, as always, at the forefront of everything. He's out here slinging NFTs. I think he's making big money off of that.
Is he?
Yeah.
It is wild. He is like...
He's always like, you
right
can
there.
laugh it up, but he's always doing it. I think he like sold Superman that hoe or something like that. Like an NFT
a better one than
version.
Soulja Boy.
Yeah.
Soulja Boy, tell him.
Tell him you stole the wrong one.
Yeah. God.
What else is in that?
Do we have one more?
Johnny's
this
little black
one's
book.
just another one that continues to plague me. So it's really, this is my last one. We talked about this ad nauseum on the show. Bluetooth just isn't real. We're not ready for Bluetooth. I'm so sick of fucking Bluetooth.
I'm ready for it to be real.
I'm ready for it to be real.
So
It's
like
just not yet.
I get in the car every day and I have to plug my fucking phone in to listen to the podcast, listen to music, whatever, you know? And I want it to just happen for real. Like Bluetooth. And it just doesn't.
We're not there. And I'm not even
doesn't
talking about
happen.
in the car. Get me to connect to a Bose fucking speaker. Not a shot.
No.
But even like my headphones now, when I walk, I don't know if this is a problem. Does anyone else here use Bluetooth headphones? Not you.
No.
You do? When you cross the street sometimes, does like a headphone go out, or does it get staticky, or does it get like chippy?
Your Bluetooth headphones are the loudest like headphones in the world.
Oh, yeah, the one I guess. Yeah.
It's just crinkling and crackling, and like you can hear all the cars drive by, and
Which
it's
is
like
like-
the microphone must pick up like everything.
The two times we've done it, ASL you're referring to.
Yeah.
The two times we've done it, I was one standing on my back porch, it looks out over a courtyard.
It's like quiet.
Dead silent courtyard. And then the other time I was just standing in my room quietly.
It's weird.
So
It
I just
picks
can't
up
I just can't use those for
everything.
ASL
Yeah.
anymore. But the like when I cross the street, it'll fade out and it'll kick out, or like
Yeah.
I think it's something about the lights, because it's always when I'm going by like the traffic lights.
I love how we're in we're in an era where people are like, like 5G is going, like the ground is going to be smart, and it's going to like, the highway is going to be like plugged into your blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, I can't walk past a fucking streetlight with
Dude,
headphones.
when you think about like technology that came too soon, The other one that comes to mind was the chip on a credit card. And we figured that out in like 3 months. Bluetooth, gotta be what, 15 years old? Still a fucking mess. Still, like, works 1 out of 10 times. It's insanity that we keep trying to be like, just Bluetooth. What do you mean? What does that fucking mean to just connect to it? Because guess what? Bose doesn't know. Apple doesn't know. Fucking Chevy doesn't know. Whatever kind of Hyundai doesn't know. None of you fucking assholes have figured it out yet. So stop saying it's available technology. It is not available technology. We have not perfected it. It stinks.
You are special today. I'll tell you what, you are special.
It is. Yo, there's a time when I cross, this is a true story. When I cross 23rd Street, I have to look at the East River to hear music. Yes, it is. I swear to God. I've done it so much.
So let's say you're walking south.
So
you have to look to your left to look at the fucking.
Oh, wait, something is in the wrong river. I have to look to the east side. That's
East River.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm just whatever.
That would have been real fucked up. It was on the west side.
But I'm just saying. You're walking and you have to turn your head left or right depending on
When I'm walking.
So you're just like this.
Yeah.
In order to hear your
I
music.
will walk like this. Yeah. I swear to God.
No
I
shot.
swear.
No
It is
chance.
23rd.
We're going to
It's
23rd
only
Street.
23rd.
We are going to 23rd Street. I am putting your headphones in. I am going to walk and look right at the Freedom Tower, and I'm going to hear my fucking music. No chance.
It only happens when I'm coming uptown, though. So
All right, I'll be looking
You
up.
have to look in Times Square.
Sure. There is no way you need to look at the river to hear your fucking. And you're telling me if you look at the Hudson, it's not going to work? It's got to be this way?
Because it's only this
that
left
way.
ear. I think I have to hide this left ear.
From what? Hide it
From
from what?
whatever fucking gamma rays are coming out of the streetlights. I gotta block them with my skull so I can fucking listen to music.
The gamma rays from the streetlights, folks.
I'm dead serious. I learned it recently. Like now I'm like a fucking robot. I start watching 23rd. I'm like.
I hope
I swear to God,
I
I'm not
hope you
kidding.
get run down by a car just looking this way, and you have to give like an interview, like what happened? It's like, well, I didn't see the Uber because I had to turn my head.
Miss the end of the Bieber song.
I had to look at the East River to hear "Hold On." Colossal idiot. You're an asshole. Let's find out who else is an asshole. Today's Emma the Asshole is brought to you by Olipop. I'm a soda addict. Everybody knows it. I am addicted to pop, and it's bad for you, man. It makes you fat. It like erodes your teeth. You ever see those like specials where not specials, those experiments where they pour like a can of Coke out in a bowl and then just leave it there and it like boils down into this like sludge.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh my God, I drink that. I drink like gallons of that. Oh, it's so bad for you. So I got Olipop, which is
We don't even have Olipop anymore because Jackie drank it all.
give me my Olipop back.
Because they're good, and we ordered more.
It is.
and
It's
they're
so.
really good.
It is so delicious. They got how many different flavors they got? They got like the orange vanilla. They've got the regular cola. They've got root beer, orange squeeze, cherry vanilla, strawberry vanilla. They got all different flavors with that carbonated fizz that you need to really give that extra oomph when you're eating lunch or eating dinner. You don't want just that plain old water taste. You don't want the nasty, heavy, sugary other sodas. So it's that perfect in between. Because we're living in the future, man. Maybe Bluetooth doesn't work, but we figured out a way to make your soda healthy and tasty, which really has been a problem throughout society. When people like, oh, like diet tastes the same. No, it fucking doesn't. You know what I mean? You can taste that diety. You have all those chemicals in there to get rid of the calories, and it's like, no, it's not the same. And Olipop has finally cracked the case and figured it out so that you can drink a healthy drink, but also a tasty one that is going to give you that carbonated, fizzy enjoyment. So. It's not full of sugar. It's not full of corn syrup or artificial ingredients. You're not going to get that aspartame shit that gives you cancer. It's actually good for you. And right now you can get a case of Olipop with a 100% money-back guarantee. So if you don't like it, you don't have to worry about it. Right now you can get 20% off when you go to Olipop.com or go to Drink Olipop, DRINK olipop.com/KFC. Use code KFC, and you get 20% off plus free shipping. You get the variety pack, which gives you a chance to taste all the delicious flavors at drinkolipop.com/KFC. Use code KFC, and you get the full discount applied at checkout. You can also get it in like Kroger and Whole Foods, Wegmans, all those places, but you can order them right off the website. drinkolipop.com/KFC, code KFC. Am I the asshole time? We begin with this girl, Emily, straight from our Facebook page. So you can go, the KFC Radio Facebook page is actually pretty good as far as all of our content submissions go. So I know Facebook is Facebook's so weird where it's like, it's not like a failure. It's huge, massive, but it's like not really new and cutting edge. So the people who use it. The people who don't use it usually shy away from it. But we get a lot of good content coming out of the KFC Radio Facebook page. So Emily here says, am I the asshole for being mad at my friend for not telling me that the guy she's trying to set me up with went to rehab in 2019? Background. The guy is her good friend. She decided to play matchmaker. I asked her for some background info on her, and all she said was how wonderful he is and how great he is and all that, and that we'd hit it off. I mentioned this to our other friend, and she told me he went to rehab in 2019 for being an alcoholic, but only stayed sober for a week after getting out, and that he's been absolutely intolerable when he drinks.
No. Unfortunately, no, you're not the asshole. I was going to have the back here. I was going to have the rehab back here. Because I do think that you gotta give full warnings about everything.
Definitely.
You gotta give full.
Let me tell you something. There's one asshole in here, and it's the matchmaker for just playing matchmaker. That is an insane idea.
For 1946, like there's plenty of places to meet people.
Let me willingly and actually like proactively insert myself into your relationship drama, inevitable relationship drama. Because at the very least, you're going to have a couple times where you fight and have issues. And then what? Then you're like this weird stuck in between thing. Or
I actually
when they break
prefer
up.
it when I have two friends who hook up because I tell both of them.
I'm not
talk.
involved in any of this
No
shit.
matter what happens here, I'm going to be friends with both of you
That's
afterwards.
actually great.
So don't fucking tell me anything because I don't give a shit. Then
That's
then because guess what? If they're
now you don't have to do any of like shoulder to cry on and
if they're both individually with a stranger,
you have to give advice.
Then
You
they
have to
come.
help.
But if they're together,
nothing.
I say do not
That's
talk
great.
to me because I don't care.
A perfect world.
And if you try and fucking manipulate me into thinking the other person's bad, I don't give a fuck. Whatever happens here is not affecting my relationship with either of you.
Yeah.
And then literally,
you know what?
It's happened to me multiple times.
Your friends start dating each other. John just pops his headphones in, turns left,
Yeah.
and he doesn't listen to a fucking thing you got to say.
Yeah, I'm like, awesome. You two hook up. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's
I love
actually
it.
a funny like you actually should be excited if your friends date because it actually while you think it's gonna be more drama, it actually cancels out and there's no drama for
but
you.
you have to really lay down.
Yeah,
I beat it into them.
Yeah.
I'm always like, you have to listen to me.
Right.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, don't come to me at all.
Nope. And you gotta believe. Say it with your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They gotta believe it. They gotta
know
believe
you
it when
mean
you say
business,
it.
yeah.
Like this is serious.
because-
I don't fucking care
which
about
is
you
how
at
it
all.
should always
Good
be.
friend.
Yeah, it should always be that way. You should be able to say that. Okay. Oh, you're dating a new person that I never met before. I don't give a shit. Don't come to me with your issues. I can't help you. It's so crazy that people try to like lean on their friends for help. Like you don't know my shit. How are you going to give me advice on this? You don't know what she's like or he's like behind closed doors or what's really
when
going on.
people come to you with like an issue in a relationship, they're lying.
Yeah, they want you to. They're trying to convince you that they're the good guy.
They're
you know?
100% lying
Yeah.
all the time. Like, yeah, you probably did some dicked up shit.
Definitely. It's like, can you believe that, like, Jim called me an asshole? What a dick. And it's like, well, why? And no, there's no reason. He was just being a dick. And it's like, oh, you sucked his brother's dick. You found out, like, yeah, there was actually a fucking really valid reason for that. You
I try and
dumbass.
not talk about it very often with people because I'm like, well, they're gonna ask a follow-up question.
And why did that happen?
We're fighting a
Well,
lot right now. Why would it happen? Never mind.
No reason.
If I could have a press conference, not a press conference, I could give a speech rather than have a press conference.
Right.
Maybe I'd do some more complaining.
There will be no further questions. There will be no Q&A after this. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, if you try to also though, the issue at hand, like trying to play matchmaker with someone who was an alcoholic like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy too.
It's all, but
Like that person deserves
not alcohol 2
deserves,
minutes ago. Like they're still in alcohol.
Right. They
There's-
they went to fucking full blown rehab not too long ago and then relapsed. That's that's not to say that he can't be like in love and doesn't deserve to find somebody, but to actively set that person up with someone else is like
you gotta
oh
paint
boy.
an accurate picture. You gotta be like you can even leave out rehab. You could leave out rehab if you said
he drinks a little too much.
he's a fucking madman.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
and you can spin it like
Also, just there
you're like he's fun. Yeah, you have a
age.
lot of fun. You no boring nights with him, but he's a fucking lunatic.
It also depends. It doesn't say here, but like how old is everybody and what's going on?
yeah. If he's under 25, he's not an alcoholic.
Right. It's like he just goes hard.
Yeah.
You know? That might be a plus. He's a bundle. He's a bundle of fun. He's a big ball of fun.
Yeah. You like breaking up fights? I got a guy for you. But like, I
just
think
can't play.
you could say
John, just literally think about playing matchmaker right now.
I
Could you even like bring yourself to? It's such a preposterous concept.
It would be impossible
Preposterous.
I don't like my friends, so I can't be like, I'm like, oh, I got a friend, you like him. I'm like, what's he like? He kind of sucks.
Yeah. Well,
I've just known him since high school.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in finding new friends. I don't know, kind of a fucking loser, for being honest.
seriously, like who do you, anybody that I hang out with enough to know to set them up? You don't want to be set up with.
You got to be my
this
friend.
one I love
Why?
this
What's so great?
I actually this one I'm gonna call
tall.
bullshit on. Did you say tall? Yeah. Perfect.
I know
perfect segue.
that's like, okay.
I think this is a fake one. I'm going to call this. I think it's a well-written one because I just can't imagine this is a thing. Am I the asshole for not grabbing something off a tall shelf for a short girl at the grocery store because I don't work there? I was doing my grocery shopping at Walmart, and if you've ever been there, LOL, you know the shelves are pretty high up.
Classic.
Yeah.
Whoa. Fucking fuck you already. I'm already furious with this guy. Fuck you, dude. They give you fuck you. What was that lol for? What was it in there for, Kevin? Why lol? You ever been to Walmart? Lol. Shut up and tell your story. You tall motherfucker.
Shall I?
Proceed.
This short girl got my attention and asked if I could grab her something off the tall shelf. Honestly, I think if she just stood on her tippy toes or jumped a few times and knocked it down with a stick or something, she could have got it done herself. I just said, no thanks. She looked surprised and said, okay, and looked at the thing and then looked around. Some other guy in the aisle was looking at me with this what the fuck look on his face and came over and got it for her. She thanked him and then walked like 3 feet to grab something else. The guy was like, dude, don't be a jerk. She obviously couldn't reach it. I said, not my problem. I don't work here. He said, it costs nothing to be nice. Now, this is where I think it's fake.
Okay.
I said, quote, it costs $20 to get a step ladder. Maybe she should invest in that instead of bothering people who don't work here. I mean, nobody said that. Come on.
What does that even mean?
She looked at me and said, wow, okay.
First of all,
and
the
the guy was
stepladder
like,
in Walmart, lol, is free if you don't buy it. Just go get it and put it back in
grab
the
it.
fucking aisle. You fucking.
and then the guy was like, holy shit, you're an asshole. I just left because whatever. I'm tired of being expected to do shit just because I'm tall. Am I the asshole for not going out of my way to grab, am I the asshole for not going out of my way for some girl at the grocery store when I don't work at the store?
I mean, yeah, pretty easy, yeah. I could have nailed that one as soon as you put lol in parentheses after fucking Walmart. But
Yeah, I think we knew where John was going with this one.
but he's an asshole for two reasons.
But do you think this is real? You think like somebody said all like was thinking all these things and like he like
I actually
when he said if she could have jumped or grabbed a stick and got, I mean these just sound like no reasonable person would be like.
But I mean, I think it's clear this person's unreasonable. I'm not like this didn't immediately throw up a fake flag, a false flag for me, but
False flag.
It is like it's there are people who are this big of an asshole.
Yeah.
for
How about
sure.
this? I was at a Stop and Shop the other day. One of those ones where there's robots running around. You seen those things?
I've seen videos of them, but never in person.
Crazy. But anyway, there was a woman. She was wearing a black polo button shirt, short sleeves. She had a fucking cardboard box of Fritos, like chips, and she was grabbing them out of the box and putting them on the shelves. And I don't remember what I was looking for. I was like, where's this? And she was like, I don't work here. Like looking at me like I'm the asshole for asking her where the fucking butcher was, whatever. And I was like, what? And she was just like, she worked for she was like, I work for like Fritos or something like that. I was like, okay, fine. But fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, lady at the Stop and Shop who works for Fritos stocking the shelves who doesn't work there. Fuck you. Like that. She said it to me like I was ridiculous for talking. Like she clearly had some sort of uniform on. She had like the Trent. She had like a black polo tucked into khakis, holding a box of things, stocking shelves, and was like, I don't work here. What are you asking me questions for?
Yeah, I mean,
Fuck you.
fuck you.
Fuck you. Like, that is so ridiculous.
Why?
Like, okay, fine.
Why is she stocking the shelves?
That's what I mean.
You don't work
I
there.
guess, I don't know, like you work for like a distributor who's getting the brands into the stores or something. You're not a Stop and Shop employee. Like, I don't know. She comes in with the chips, so she doesn't know where like the toiletries are or something. But it's like, was it that far-fetched of a question? You dumb bitch.
Yeah.
You dumb fucking bitch.
We gotta talk about something else real quick. Buying meats at Walmart?
No, Walmart. It's a Stop and Shop.
Oh, I think you said Walmart. Okay.
No, I mean, if I did say Walmart, that was a slip up, and you are certainly right to call me out if that was the case. But it was not
I
Walmart.
thought you were looking for the butcher at Walmart. I was like, Kev, you need to borrow a couple bucks, dude.
Which, Walmart's wild.
Even if you said like the butcher, like where's the meat section? You have a butcher at Walmart. Where you guys keep the frozen kibasas? but also, like as a tall guy, to get back to the original, am I the asshole? You gotta save someone in that situation who has to jump, because I have to jump, and it is the most emasculating thing. In the deli downstairs from my apartment, they put like good chips. I like hot blue chips, spicy blue chip, and they put them on a shelf that's like
Just too high.
it's higher than this. And so I have to like
Hop.
I do like a little, like I try and like make it like I'm like, is no one looking? Like, and I have if it takes like two, I gotta tap it off.
You gotta knock it and catch it.
And I gotta like, and then I go. Sometimes I can get it in one swoop, but also you gotta be accurate with it because there's a bunch of chips up there. It's a whole fucking row of chips, and if I go too aggressive with my grab, we'll get a bunch coming down. I'm making a scene.
Okay,
and I gotta move.
Now let me ask you this. Let's say fucking Manute Bowl here was in that store.
Yeah, by the way, this guy's 6'4".
Yeah, he's not like-
I'm so tired of people asking me to do things because I'm tall.
You're not that fucking tall, bro.
If I put on Timberlands, we're on the same height, bro.
Right,
Relax.
But let's say there was a tall guy there. Would you ask a tall guy at a store to get you something off the top shelf?
Oh, heavens no.
Yeah.
Heavens no.
And why not, John?
Wait, hang on. Sorry.
If there was a tall guy at the store with you, would you ask him to help you get something off a shelf?
No.
Well, why not?
Because, I mean, realistically speaking, I'm a tall guy, so I should be able to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about in the deli?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, I just handle it.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
you would still be
But I'm
hopping,
not a small
hopping like a
girl.
goddamn idiot when there's a guy who could just grab it for you, but you're not going to ask him.
No, heavens.
And neither would I. But
Yeah.
that's just ridiculous because this is like
It's even
some like
more
emasculated
emasculating
bullshit.
to be like,
Right?
excuse me, Dad, can you grab that for
That's
me?
that's what I'm saying. I'd rather hop there like a goddamn bunny than be like, hey bud,
But
can
yeah,
you
the little
help me?
damsel in distress, I'll get it for you.
Yeah, but ultimately it's pretty silly that we wouldn't ask for help.
No, I don't think so. I think it's preposterous. Again, it's just a little toe hop.
First of all, you know my rule. I'm not leaving the ground anymore. So I would ask that 7 foot tall man for help because I have a rule. I don't leave the earth anymore. But it's kind of funny that we still
Hey, bro,
Something-
you want to grab that for me real quick?
it's
My arms are sore from doing push-ups all day. I can't reach it.
like what's the difference between that and if I was like, yo, can you pass me that thing that's behind you just because like we're in the way.
Yeah, okay.
but there
okay,
is a
now
difference.
you're selling me. Now you're
Right?
selling me.
You shouldn't, but you do. It's like that would be totally emasculating to be like, "Hello, taller man. Can you grab something higher off the ground than I can?" I would never do it. We're fucking assholes.
If I was this guy who was so just fucking incredibly sick of being asked to do things and reach for things, I would just say, Sure, get on my shoulders. Like, you know,
I will offer you help, but you have to
yeah,
climb
I'm
up me
not
like a
gonna get it.
tree.
You go.
Yeah.
Just like you, the
Imagine-
known guy.
imagine you get on your hands and knees, they stand on you like a table. Okay, go ahead, climb on up.
Everyone knows you in the Sheboygan
Or-
Walmart.
or
like that's
what if you
that's
did
tall
this?
guy. We get on his shoulders.
What
to
if
get
you did this?
stuff.
What if somebody said like, "Can I have help?" and you went, "Sure." Do the cheerleading lift.
Arms up.
All right, last one here. I don't know the full one here. I hope this is going where I think it's going, and then I think it's going to be very funny. I hope this is a Creed thought situation. Am I the asshole for making a fake stock portfolio for my wife? My wife has always been terrible with her finances from the moment I met her. Before we were married, she was swimming in debt and only made the minimum payment every time. Let's not judge. And while at the same time buying excessive products that she couldn't afford. She's wonderful in so many other ways, but as far as finances go, she's a lost cause. While we were dating, I tried to teach her some financial literacy. Didn't really stick. And once we were married, I took over our combined finances. Of course, I still keep her informed about everything that we do, but tends to let me do most of it. Shortly after the market started picking up and following the COVID recession, I started picking up numerous stocks that were cheap, and I told her about it when she then asked me if she could have half of our total investment funds to invest on our own.
Boy.
I asked her why she wanted to prove. I asked her why, and she wanted to prove to her friends that she could be responsible with money, since apparently they were teasing her about it the last time they met. I told her that it wasn't a good idea, and I could certainly help her out by setting up an account with a small amount or one of the numerous simulations out there so she could learn under my guidance instead of jumping in with her money. She refused. She had a big argument. She was adamant. She wanted a real account. She wasn't even bothered to research real brokers and thought it was the real deal. Oh, okay, wait. She was still adamant about it, and I was getting annoyed, so I set up a simulation and told her it was a real account. She hadn't even bothered to research real brokers, so she thought it was the real deal and started investing. Fast forward to now. Her account has done terribly, and over the last few months, she has lost a large portion of the money in the account, which she thinks is real. She put the money into random penny stocks and other garbage after reading half-baked articles, hoping that they were the next Apple. Of course, many of them did terribly, deleting her account. She even invested in GameStop, but only after it showed up in the news, and when it fell, she panicked and sold her shares. She came back to me the other day sobbing and said sorry, upon which I asked her if she now realized why I didn't want her to just jump in without any knowledge. I then told her that she didn't have to worry because it was a simulation, and she got angry at me for lying instead of being happy that our retirement fund wasn't flushed down the drain. I failed to see how I'm in the wrong. I offered multiple times to help, blah, blah, blah. So you get it. So yes, this dude just set up like Creed thoughts and said, go ahead, honey, you're now Gordon Gekko. Go ahead and trade. She completely bombs the way he thought it was gonna. He hits her with an "I told you so," and she's now mad at him for lying. And this is why hoes are so goddamn annoying.
Bro,
but
you're the asshole, but like he's an asshole. It's an asshole move. But like he's also right. You can be both.
I mean, I don't even think it's that big of an asshole move. This is like absolutely protecting someone from a wildly disastrous, like horrible life situation where you could flush half your money down the toilet.
That's true. And because if she'd even put in a modicum of research, she would have realized it's not a real brokerage account.
Yeah.
Like if you just
right.
Googled
like you are so irresponsible
what am I trading
that
on?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's not
Right.
Beryl or Morgan
So she
Stanley.
clearly
or
didn't
Robinhood
take
or
it seriously enough to
E-Trade.
even do that.
It's fucking
Yeah.
Donna, this isn't real.com.
Right.
Then like, yeah, it's probably
Like you proved him right. I mean,
but also like he's dumb for admitting it's a fake.
well, I was thinking that you're right, but also if someone comes to you and is like, dude, like I fucked up so bad, I lost half our savings, like, and they're freaking out, I think you have to be like, dude, relax. Like, no, you don't.
I'd say, babe, I got a hot tip. I'm gonna make it all back.
Yeah, right. That's where you gotta like. So one way or the other, you have to put that person's mind at ease so that they don't want to like kill themselves. But you got to do it in a way that you get credit for it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Like, look, I was talking to Steve, and Steve's got a guy over at Amazon. Says Bezos is doing a bunch of things.
Right.
I'm gonna put it all in there.
Right.
And actually, no, because you can't do Amazon. Amazon's too big.
No, you
gotta
don't
do
even give the credit to
fucking.
Steve. You just go, I've been doing my research and I found out this company. I'm gonna execute this trade and take advantage of a little arbitrage, and I'm gonna and next thing you know, she's sucking your dick because you're fucking the Wolf of Wall Street.
I think if by Friday, I think we'll be all set.
I'm up 20,000%, baby. Don't worry about it.
And
But
then,
I mean,
and then when
God.
she's like, "Why don't we do this forever?" You're like, "Why don't you hush up?"
This was a one-time thing. I would start making up terms. I'd be like, well, this is what they call in the market a pelican. Yeah. And a pelican is a one-time thing that happens and never again. So, but I mean, this is where like relationship things are so stupid. Where it's like, if this was a friend, you'd just be like, you fucking moron. You know what I mean? But gotta walk on eggshells with your boyfriend or girlfriend to make sure they're. It's like, yeah, you were dumb. I knew you were gonna be dumb. I protected you from being dumb, and now I'm in trouble. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Penny stocks. I didn't know penny stocks were still a thing after
Yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Listen,
Wolf of Wall Street, by the way, is still a movie. I don't see what he did wrong.
I never.
You call someone up and you go, hey, fucking this stock right here is doing good. How about $5,000
And they give it to you?
in the 80s, whatever, the 70s, and they go, beautiful, here's $5,000.
It's called being a good salesman.
That is you're such a good salesman. You
Good
don't have to
business.
sell anything.
That's right.
It's just hey, quick phone call.
I'm with you.
That-
Exploiting dumb people for being dumb is just called savvy.
I mean, it's like why I buy fucking couple $100 sweatshirts. They're not fucking. Well, they are fucking me over, but it's like I'm doing
I'm
it.
willing to do it. Yeah, I'm a moron to do it.
Oh, you buy expensive clothes? They tricked me. They tricked me. Give me my money
No,
back.
you're just an asshole.
I thought it was gonna be fucking sweatshirt that blew me. I lost the thread.
One got away from me. That one got away from me. All right, voicemails.
It always goes back to blowjob. Last thing
When in doubt-
last thing you grab onto is a dick. It's falling from a joke.
All right, voicemails today are brought to you by Bloomscape. It's been a long winter. Everyone's been stuck indoors. You've been you're staring at the wall. You haven't seen much vegetation, much flora or fauna. Remember that? Flora and fauna.
I mean, I
Foliage,
remember
if you
the
will.
words. I don't remember
Yeah.
what they mean.
I don't remember either. Flora and fauna. Isn't like one in the water or something like that? Flora and fauna. Anybody? Chlorophyll?
Flower, fauna, fish.
Fauna fish?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Hey, you
I
said
just
it
started
con-
saying words.
you said
Flora,
it
flowers,
convincingly.
fauna, fish.
Still not into a microphone, but convincingly.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Sorry.
fauna is animals.
Okay,
Which
so not that
fish
part.
are animals, so I can.
What?
I said fish are animals, so I'm not completely wrong on that. What's flora? No, what's
Flora is vegetation.
which are flowers, so I wasn't wrong.
This girl knows how to argue.
I don't know. I think, yeah. All right. You said
Sure.
the microphone, so you get a point.
Half credit. Yep. But anyway, the point being that you living around some plants and some vegetation and some greenery can really help. Forget about you making your bed. Looking at some plant life that can help your mental state.
I live in like a bit of a rainforest now. I got
do you?
4 of these, I think.
Four
Yeah.
Bloomscape
My
plants
favorite
for
one-
Johnny fucking Rainforest over here.
I get them all because they have like when you're getting them on Bloomscape, you have like it'll tell you like how hard it is to maintain and what kind of attention it needs.
Mhm.
And I get
the lowest.
exclusively like
Yeah.
you don't even
This
have to
thing
look
can
at me.
survive in a dark closet. Yeah.
But my favorite one that I just got is the Dracania Dorado.
Well, that sounds like something straight out of Game of Thrones.
It is. It's a cool look. I'm gonna pull it up right now. Dracania.
This guy
Dorado
over here, he's like Johnny Nature. This is crazy.
Yeah,
He's dropping like the etymology of plants on me and shit.
it makes me happy. It's nice to
Yeah.
have them around. They're
Look
like,
at this
look
guy.
at this.
Yeah.
This
I'm
one's
looking at it.
fucking-
I'm looking at it
Oh,
right
you got
now.
it up there?
Yeah.
Yeah. These are sexy. They got some rainforest vibes.
Hell yeah.
Right? It's like oh, that's exotic.
Yeah.
You walk into my house and you see that, you gonna fuck me.
That's like when you walk down 28th Street.
That's
honestly
it's
that
like
is true.
books and vegetation.
Girls
It's-
walk into an apartment and they see a plant, they're very happy.
a plant and a book.
Yeah. That's all. You could
A
walk
bong
in.
and a blitz.
There-
A plant and a book.
There could be like
Gold member.
I knew that was gonna keep going. I knew he wasn't gonna just like let that go. I knew he was just gonna keep on going.
Pancake in a pipe.
You could have a fucking a straight chair and a shitty couch, but you have a plant in the corner and just a book on the ground.
Yeah.
You could have a dictionary on the floor and a Dracania Corodia, whatever.
Dracania Dorado.
Dorado, you are good to go, man, because the plant gives you there's 2 elements. There's one of like this takes some upkeep. This takes a commitment.
Which tricky. It doesn't.
no.
If you get the one that like I water it once a month.
Yeah, and you're good to go. And then the other thing is that it takes some thought, like, oh yeah, this looks nice. It ties the room together, sort of thing. Rudy's got Felicity. Rudy has a daughter named Felicity, who's a plant that he keeps alive and well and talks to and posts about. So it's like if you're lonely too, you can have a friend. You can have Danny Dracadia, and you keep them just watered in the corner, and it just livens up the whole room and makes you like a real human who's not just living in like this shitty concrete jungle. You get a little greenery. You get a little, I don't know, they produce oxygen or some shit. Don't plants produce
Definitely.
oxygen? Yeah, that's how
they
they live,
suck
right?
up the carbon
dioxide. Yes, correct. So we've got the plants in our places. It's easy peasy. They have the Grow How team, which they teach you how to keep these things alive and give you tips and tricks to make sure they're as full and healthy as they can be. So Bloomscape is the way to get some vegetation and some plants in your house to liven things up. Right now they have the outdoor bloom kits, which is the easiest, most convenient way to get growing. They have young plants, they have old plants, they have accessories, they have tools, they have big, small, they have things for inside, outside, for your porch, for your patio, or indoors. All of it will ship right to your apartment, right to your house right now as the last of the winter frost is getting out of the system. So your plants will grow up. Like right now is the time to do it. You can get these things all year round, but right now is the time to get your plants, get young, new ones, put them in the sunlight, water them, and they're going to grow healthy and strong. All sizes, all across the United States. So find out the right plant for your environment and get going today. Go to bloomscape.com. Promo code KFC, and you get 15% off any plant order of $100 or more. That's bloomscape.com. Promo code KFC. Get 15% off a plant order of $100 or more. Let's do some voicemails.
Hey guys, first time, long time. I was listening to the episode where Nick mentions that one of his buddies in college lets a homeless guy sleep over. It made me think of this one time when I was in college. We had this homeless man. We called him George the Can Man. Picked up all of our cans, and we had a beer Olympics or a party or something. So it was a mess the next day and the next morning. So hungover, I don't realize I let George the Can Man into the house to clean up the cans. So my question is, what's the dumbest or laziest thing you've done because you're hungover?
First of all, with this fucking voice, I don't ever want you to call our show again. I gotta be honest. I think this voicemail's a little bit rude.
She just let him into the house?
Like, what's the?
I thought this was she fucked him.
What's the? I literally thought she was gonna fuck the homeless man. She's like, "What's the most deplorable, disgusting thing you've ever done?" One time, I let a person who's less fortunate than me clean my house. Have you ever done something so despicable like that before? I mean, Jesus Christ, lady.
Wait,
I thought she was gonna say,
he just came in and cleaned, right?
And he collected the cans, so she did a nice thing. He cleans up, he gets to cash in the cans, and she feels the need to call one of the worst radio shows in the world to be like, where we talk about the most dark, deep, disgusting things, thinking that she's on par with that. I mean, goodness gracious. I truly thought she was going to say, like, and then I woke up next to George the Can Man, and he was naked, and there was a condom on the floor. Like, no, you just let a man clean your apartment.
For free.
So I have a slave who I make do things. Can you imagine?
What's the most deplorable thing you did besides take the advantage of the less fortunate and the homeless? And have him.
So we have this mascot. We gave him a name. We make fun of him. We yell George the Can Man in his face. One time I tried to help him. Could you imagine the horror? Could you imagine the horror when I woke up to a clean house? You bitch.
I thought for sure, I was like, oh boy, she gonna fuck a homeless guy.
Yeah. You know what I was getting visions of? Sweet D fucking the chef at the chef at the North Korean place.
I mean, like,
yo, that scene, by the way, when Sweet Tea fucks the North Korean guy, when she wakes up, she goes, "Am I in America?" There's flies and am I in America? Like she could have got so blacked out, she ended up in Asia. And am I in America?
The way she says it is so fucking funny.
So good. Like it's entirely possible. You know? Almost like it just happened again. Like, am I in America? Okay, so obviously that's like I would encourage you to do this again and often,
every time,
all the
Yeah.
time.
There's
'Cause
literally no losers. In
Not
this
only
situation.
not only is it convenient for you, but it's like a really nice thing that George the Can Man probably really likes.
I was going to say, I actually know people who did this in college.
Yeah.
Like, all the time.
I know people who did this in college. Me, I try to do this all
Yeah.
the time. We talked about this before.
Everyone does it.
You have
Everyone's
the
good.
scam where we're gonna fund our beer and drink for free, and then you realize that you need thousands of cans to make enough.
Then you collect a party of 60 people, all their cans, and you afford a 12 pack. And you're like, all right, we're done with this.
Do you understand that we're going to have to order a new goddamn table if you keep this up?
Why?
Look at this giant fucking.
You can't even see what I'm doing.
You look at the line on my side. Look at you're like digging through our wooden table.
Oh, that's all right. We didn't pay for it.
Right now with the pen, it's not so bad. But there was a time you just had a piece of metal and you had a crowbar. You were just
I'm just
breaking apart
coloring
the
inside.
table.
I'm not.
Now it's not so bad.
I'm
but
not
yeah.
stretching it out.
Yeah, but here's the problem. There's an inside.
What? I can't color inside over here.
No, barely. Look at this. This is like a little crack.
This is what I'm doing. Coloring it up.
Child. What's but I guess there is a good question in there of I think the angle is when you're super hungover and you're so lazy, like what's the I mean I've ordered food that's like literally across the street from my apartment before.
Oh, I regularly. I used to. Yeah.
like I was underneath a pizza place called Pastafino over right by Factory 360 and I've had them bring it upstairs to me. Like some truly despicable like you are a piece of shit type stuff.
back when I lived in Southie, in that dilapidated building, a truly condemned building. I hope someone from Southie let me
Condemned
know
building's such a great term.
what's across the street from the Broadway stop now, because it used to be a fucking building that was falling apart. It was a house that was falling apart, and I lived in it. But I actually forget the name of the Chinese food restaurant right there. But
Fidget with that motherfucker.
the Golden Temple, is it? I think it's something like that. But it was literally my house, my standalone home in South Boston, falling apart, filled with rats. I didn't have a shower. I had to get a gym membership so I could take showers. Right next to it was a Chinese restaurant, and like they would just walk it out the back to my door. Yeah, like it was. They didn't go out throw
it to you.
It was just like the chef would bring it out.
Yeah.
But that's like, it was literally delivered by a guy in an
laziest-
apron, not a delivery
This
man.
reminds me, there was in like my
Good
old
job.
There you go, Jack.
There we go. In my house, there was this guy in like South Central where I go to school at USC.
Nope, you're moving away from
this
it.
guy. sorry. And he would just show up like it was this homeless man. We don't know how he got in. We kept trying to like lock the doors, but he kept coming in, and then he would try and convince us that we should like let him live there for free. And we were like, that's not. He was like, no, I'll just live there. But like I won't pay rent, and we were like,
Yeah, we know that's the problem.
No, like that's not an option. And he was like, no, I have papers, and we were like,
Yeah, we don't care.
How many times did he do this?
3 times, and we were like, how are you getting in? First of all, and then another woman would like come in the back, and
This
she
isn't like
just-
an apartment or like a sorority house
no,
or what?
No, like this was like a house.
Yeah, okay.
But he just kept, and we were like, I don't understand like what's going on here. Anyways,
Highly dangerous.
Being a woman must be
the
fucking
worst.
horrifying.
Yeah.
Like an absolute
Like that would just not be an option due to
nightmare
a house
every
of guys.
single day.
Like thankfully he was nice about it, at least asked.
Yeah.
Rather than just being like I'm doing
what
this
would
with
you
me.
have done if he was just like,
Yeah.
no, I live here. now."
Yeah.
Nothing. You'd have called the police, I guess,
Right.
but you
could not have done something.
Would have done nothing.
Yeah. To be fair, I probably wouldn't either. I'd probably call the police. Like, this person's crazy. I had
Got a gun too.
I wish I could. I think DevNest lost it. The homeless people who used to live in the vestibule in my apartment.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, that was classic. That was they were homeless. Like there are homeless people, and then there are homeless people, and it's one of those things where you really when you live here, you learn the levels of homelessness, and that's where you become hardened and you stop like caring. Like I feel like when you first come to the city, you give $1 to like every homeless person you see,
Yeah.
and eventually you realize that you're talking about some true destitute, grimy motherfuckers who don't deserve your charity, who really don't. But these people used to live in my like little, you open up the front door to get into another door to go up the stairs, and they were. I mean, it's all gone because of DevNest, but they had this look on their face, almost like remember the bitter beer face man, where his, like mouth was upside down, and they were naked and fucking and pissing and stuff. I had to like step over them to get in my apartment, and it was just like they, prima nocta, like.
This is their spot.
Yeah, I'm the captain now. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't want to touch these people. I don't want to fight these people. What do I fucking do?
Yeah, you don't want to fight someone like that.
No, they have nothing. First of all, they're like all methed up. They're not gonna feel anything. Second of all, you don't even want them touching you, let alone like,
you
trying
start
to hurt
a fight,
you.
you're like, I gotta go upstairs. I gotta get drunk first. That makes a fair fight. I'm gonna get blackout. Give me an hour. I'm gonna go chug some tequila. Come down shirtless and fucking ruin your day, bud.
Oh man. All right, one more voicemail, and we'll do our interviews.
Okay, Steve Fight. Shout out BC, Nick, Jackie, everybody else. All right, so I was just thinking about some of the ATI shit that you guys talk about. And obviously the one being, if you let heck, blah, blah, blah. We all know the fucking question. So what would you say is something that each of you have done to get into heck? Not necessarily hell. I think it's pretty all obvious that we are all going there together. But what is something that you've done to get into heck? So,
That's a great
I'm not
question.
looking for you guys
It's a classic
to confess
ATI
to murder
question.
or anything. Nick,
If you were in control of heck, which is like, a lesser form of hell, what would be the punishment that you would endure in heck? But what gets you into heck is an interesting twist on it.
Yeah, but it's tough because everything I've done gets me into hell.
Oh, okay.
So
I was going to say, I think heck.
Again, if we're going by the good book.
Right.
If we're going by the good book, the rules in the good book.
We're in some serious trouble.
I'm hellbound, baby.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
So heck, it's honestly, I think I've done so much Catholic schooling in my life that it's hard for me.
How many commandments have you broken? Let's do that.
Okay.
I'm
going to guess 6
commandments. Okay. The 10 commandments are, we'll go through them one by one and we can, yes or no. I mean, I certainly have done a couple. Okay. Number 1, I am the Lord, thou shalt not have any other gods. I don't have any gods.
Nope. I guess.
But the rule is you shouldn't have any other gods than me. I don't have any gods, so I didn't break that one.
Okay. I broke it. Tom Brady, what's up?
Okay. I don't have any gods in my life. Number 2, thou shalt not take the Lord's name in vain, for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm one. You keep track of your own.
I'm 2 for 2.
Thou shalt keep the Sabbath holy day, for sure not.
3 for 3.
Thou
Although I did have a Shabbat dinner the other night.
You did?
Yeah. It's pretty fun. You just get drunk.
With who?
Bunch of Jewish people.
Yeah. What Jews do you know?
It was my cousin's friends. They were all Jewish. Some of them even had kosher plates and stuff. But it was a blast.
Shalom,
We had
man.
a hell of a time. We were doing this. We were saying the sacraments beforehand and all that shit. Real good time.
We're doing it in Hebrew?
Yeah. Well, they were. I wasn't.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
So wait, am I 3 for 3 or 4 for 4?
I am 2 for 3. You are 3 for 3.
3 for 3.
I think we skipped number 2.
No, thou shalt not take the Lord's name in vain.
That's 3.
Not according to my list.
No, I got a different one over here.
Well, as long as there are 10 there, I don't think the order
Choose
matters.
normally, thou shalt not take false idols.
What that's like no other gods besides me. That's what I was.
Those are separated into 2.
I don't.
Let's just pull up yours then, so we can just. I think they all would have been fine.
Okay. So whose list are we going with?
We'll just go this.
Okay.
So
I'm the other god. They shouldn't have any gods
God,
before
1
me.
for 1. Thou shalt not make
That's not.
unto
Great.
the.
I don't know if that's the right. Graven images. I don't know what that means.
That's
False idols.
The Tom Brady T-shirt, 2 for 2. 3
Okay.
for 3.
Don't take the Lord's name in vain. 3 for 3. Number 4. Remember the Sabbath day. Definitely don't
4
do
for
that.
4.
Number 5. I think I honor my father and mother like on the whole you do.
Yeah, not in the sense that they think. Not in the sense that not in the spirit of the law, but I do.
like there are definitely times where I've been like fuck you and from my parents or whatever. But like overall, I'm very thankful for that,
very
respectful for that.
Except
yeah.
for the part last episode where I said they ruined my life. But
my parents ruined my life too, but I still honor them.
yeah.
By the way, how are we not getting to the kill yet? Like
Yeah.
how
That was a little further down the
So
list.
thou shalt not kill. We haven't killed anybody. So
I'm 4 for 6.
I'm 4 for 6.
No. Because the only 2 I don't have.
Okay, all right. So I'm 3 for 6 then, because I don't have any other gods.
Yeah.
Commit adultery 4 for 7.
Steal. Is adultery that's only when you're married, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm
well,
sure.
I mean, yes, yeah.
I've only ever kissed a girl as far as cheating goes. I've never, but so I guess I'm gonna say I'm good on that one.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. You're clear on that one. I think you have to be married for that one. So 4 for 7 for me.
Okay.
Steal, I've definitely stolen.
Stolen. Not a lot, but
5
I've taken stuff.
5 for 8. Bear false witness to thy neighbor. That means covet the neighbor's. No. Yeah, that means covet the neighbor's wife. No, what does bear false witness mean? This is you pulled up a fucking tough word.
Can we get the fucking
the
English
colloquial version, please? Bear false.
Catholic school, shouldn't you?
Huh?
Shut the fuck
Yeah,
up,
Jackie.
Jackie.
Chill out over there.
Shut your fucking dumb mouth.
The
Because there shouldn't covet the neighbor's wife. There shouldn't covet the neighbor. I think those are the two.
I think
things.
it's the 2 as well. So
I mean, I have coveted the fuck out of neighbors' wives,
and they're good.
and they're good.
Yeah,
So I think I'm like 8 for 10.
I think we were both at 5 for 8. So I think we're 7 for 10.
7 for 10. I mean, that's 70% of like these are the things that will send you to hell.
Yeah. So I mean, really,
and also
the only thing I've had is not the balls to murder person.
Right.
Right. I haven't had the balls to murder a person. I haven't had the option to commit adultery, and
you
what was it I didn't do?
I still really don't get the bear false witness thing. What does that mean? But coveting your neighbor's wife and goods is like you're gonna put that on your mortal like sin list.
Yeah.
That's fucking
Like
crazy.
just
I'll be
fucking-
honest,
That's not even stuff I consciously do. I go, want to fuck that, want that.
Yeah.
Like I don't even think about it.
I knew the 10 Commandments, but I haven't really ever thought about them till right now. I think I stole your water,
Yeah, you goddamn bastard.
but this one I haven't drank yet. The 10 Commandments suck. That's a shitty list. That is a shitty list for the 10. Let's boil down our whole religion into just 10 things you shouldn't do. Like 6 of those really suck.
Yeah.
The only ones that I think really matter are kill, cheat, steal. I would say the other 7 are all garbage.
I don't even know if cheat gets you in there. I think you.
I mean, you
cheat's
shouldn't
like-
cheat.
You shouldn't cheat.
You
but
really
is
shouldn't
Is it
cheat.
going to put you in eternal hell?
Apparently. Hey, John, we'll find out. I'll let you know in about 30, 40 years. All right.
Like you're going to put that on the same level as murder?
Yeah, right.
Like
Well,
we got to
that's-
have tiers here.
I agree.
The
I
tier
agree.
system of the commandments.
Which is why I thought, they have the mortal sin and the venial sin, but these are all the mortals. So there's no tiers within this. It's
That's-
kind of crazy.
that's a little much.
Yeah.
Like you could say like, well, I probably shouldn't do it. Fair, agreed.
Yeah.
Eternal damnation for it?
And the other
we're a
ones,
little
even
over the top.
like, I love God. I really do. But like, I like this like Buddha over here too. Eternal damnation.
Oh yeah.
Hell.
Dude,
Hell.
my mom's in trouble.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean-
in a bad spot. We got false
all
idols.
sorts of idols all over the
over
place. Or like, man, I really like, Jimmy's wife is really pretty, and you see that new car he bought? Hell!
Hell yeah.
Crazy. So anyway, back to heck. Fuck you. I think heck, I can't specify a single thing I do. I think my general everyday behavior sends me to heck.
My general everyday behavior sends me
you
to
to hell,
hell.
yeah.
That's what I mean. Like it's hard to be like. It's hard
So
to
what-
separate,
so
like to
what would-
forget about those rules.
Okay, what would the tier be that would get you into heck then? Just like,
I guess you could throw cheating into heck, right? I guess you could. For the neighbor shit, fuck off. That's
Yeah.
that's
That's
just-
not even anything.
That's just instinctual.
Yeah.
That's cool. Want to fuck it?
right.
That's just I don't put conscious effort into that. Therefore, I will not be held responsible. Because guess who made this goddamn fucking brain? You goddamn son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Took the Lord name in vain.
You know what's kind of bullshit too? It's kind of, this is entrapment. The cheating one is entrapment. Because they also set the rules about till death do us part. And then you also pinch me for breaking that rule. If you didn't make that first rule, the second rule wouldn't be a thing. You know what I mean? You kind of lobbed it up and then, you set me up for failure on that one, God. If you didn't make a rule about
said-
one woman for the rest of your life.
until things didn't get so great.
Right, then-
I'd be fucking beautiful.
Exactly. If you would have a little wiggle room with this matrimony thing, like, hey, you shouldn't, but when things get fucking awful, then we can kind of understand, then I'd be in the clear. But, you made these very strict rules. It's just not.
Real goddamn stickler, huh? There it is with the
We're
Lord in vain again.
really
I say
nitpicking.
goddamn. Once you read that taking the Lord's name in vain will send you to hell, you really start to realize how often you say goddamn.
Do me a favor. On the next episode of Barstool Confessions, do the 10 Commandments with Chaps.
Okay.
And get it from his dumb preacher point of view.
Okay.
And maybe he can school us on why those are so important. Because I think Moses, right? He was the 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
He's shooting about 20% with things that matter. I mean, I guess if he's just a messenger, he didn't write them. But maybe he did. Maybe Moses
They
wrote
came
the
out
10
of the burning bush, didn't they?
No, he came down with the tablets. He
Yeah, from
spoke
the
to
burning-
him in the burning bush.
the burning bush
But I'm
told
saying,
him.
I'm saying that he just could have wrote those tablets and wrote what he wanted.
I see.
So maybe
trust
he-
me, God
you
told
know
me
what?
this. He was a bush.
Okay, how about this? So Moses
Bush is back.
had a fucking hot wife and a cool donkey or some shit.
Oh, he had a cool arc.
No, that's Noah.
Sure is.
Common misconception. And he had a neighbor who was probably like a pretty good looking guy or something. I was like, I gotta stop fucking Isaac from wanting to fuck my wife. I'm gonna come down from the mountain and be like, anybody who tries to fuck somebody's wife, go to hell. I'm looking at you, Isaac. Nobody try to fuck Mrs. Moses, okay? Stay away. Oh man, that's great stuff. All right, interview time. Nate Bargatze's on the show. It's brought to you by Black Rifle Coffee. Black Rifle Coffee is a veteran-owned business serving premium coffee to people who love America. I love America. Do you love America? We should all love America. We
Love
got
America, all my goddamn heart, dude.
the veteran
As much as
CEO.
God loves me, I'm not on a false God level, but as a country, pretty good.
The veteran CEO and founder, Evan Hafer, spent over 7 years on the ground with the U.S. Special Forces and as a CIA contractor. So he's a fucking bad motherfucker.
Fuck you up, you don't drink his coffee.
He modified gun trucks during the invasion of Iraq to grind coffee anywhere. So this dude was such a coffee nut. He's overseas in Iraq fighting war, and he's like, I gotta find a way to get a cup of coffee.
Evan.
Like that is the real. You want a good cup of coffee? This motherfucker found a good cup of coffee in the middle of war. Okay?
I don't want to be mean, Evan, but I think you like coffee a little too much. Let's just call it what it is.
I think you gotta. Your priorities are out of whack. If I'm in the middle of the fucking war in Iraq and I'm like, I really need a cup of Joe. Like, imagine he's sitting there. He's like got a welder's mask on. He's fixing the guns. Like, what are you doing? Is this for the enemy? He's like, nah, just need a cup of coffee. And that's outrageous.
Like, I'm a little tired in the middle of this firefight. I gotta get my adrenaline going.
Oh man, that's funny. So, I mean, listen, what more proof do you need that Black Rifle Coffee is committed
It's
to
the
bringing you the
fucking
best cup of
real
coffee in the
deal.
world, man? They import high quality coffee beans from all over the world. They roast them 5 days a week at their facilities in Tennessee and Salt Lake City. So they have the best beans, best grounds, and they are continually evolving and researching and experimenting with new roasts and new methods so that the best cup of coffee in the world can come your way. So join the club, get down with Black Rifle Coffee. You can pick the exact roast you want, how much you want, and when you want it delivered to your door. So the coffee just shows up like everything else in the world. I mean, I can't tell you how many times growing up that my mom would be like, "Oh fuck, Tim, we're out of coffee. Like you have to go out in the middle of the night."
Filters.
Yes, all that shit. You get it delivered right to your door now. I think they also have like the like canned ones. Don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure they do.
They do. I have them in my fridge.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you can.
Those
you know,
are
can-
heavy duty. Those are
yeah,
very good.
and that's the thing. I mean, listen, if it's like enough to keep you awake during the Iraqi firefights 24 hours a day, then I think it'll get you through your workday as well. So go to blackriflecoffee.com/KFC. Use code KFC and get the freshest coffee in America shipped right to you, along with their new products, their exclusive early access to all that stuff. You get free shipping and discounts when you join the club at blackriflecoffee.com/KFC. There he is.
What's up, bro? Nope.
I love the awkward Zoom. I love it. Your face is all close and you're looking, you're shaking your head. I love it. It's only been a year of this, Nate. This has got to be a bit, right?
All right.
There he
There he
is.
is.
Well done. Smooth, Nate. Smooth.
I need to come on like a day early when I do it with y'all.
I mean, I was joking. I don't think you could hear us. Like, it's only been a year of this, dude. We still haven't figured it out.
I've been crushing it all day with it, and then some reason maybe it's you guys.
Oh,
you know, I'm gonna start
victim blaming.
looking at y'all.
Real
Yeah.
nice. Victim
It's
blaming
always
by
my
Nate.
fault. I don't even disagree with you. I'm like, yeah, no, it was probably me. I'm sure.
If there's some technology problems with Barstool Sports, it's usually Barstool Sports, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Where are you at right now? You on the road?
I'm in Austin.
Austin.
Yeah, I fly back though, in like in a couple hours.
So you just back at it? I feel like you picked up pretty early.
I did Rogan.
Oh, okay. Have you been on there before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, first time, and then I mean, I can tell you about it when we go on. But I went to the Chappelle show and the Rogan show last night too.
Very cool. How was that? I know they had to press pause a little bit after Dave caught it, but I feel like they were hell bent on bringing back the true like comedy show experience. They tested everyone so everyone could be together and all that shit. Did it feel like, is that cool to be back in like that, like a true stand-up comedy vibe?
Yeah, it was awesome. So like they did the Stubbs barbecue, and it's this outside venue. And I mean, the whole audience has to get tested before they go in, and they do it right. They do it upright, and getting to watch them too. I mean, they're huge dudes, man. Chappelle and Rogan are, I mean, probably two top guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, getting to see that, they get to do it was, I mean, I didn't do the show. I just watched, and it was pretty awesome. And I mean, they both do like an hour. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
that when I saw they were doing that, I was hoping they were going to like tour. I think originally they were doing it in like Salt Lake City or something, and then Corona hit, and they're just staying in Stubbs. But to me, that's like a bucket list type of experience. If you can go see that live, that's
yeah. I mean, Donnell Rollins was on the show. Ron White was on the show. And, so Christ. it's pretty wild. And I mean, it's a pretty crazy show to go see. And it's definitely that. It's a bucket list type show. And they were doing arenas. Yeah, they were. I mean, those are the two of the top selling comics working right now in the world.
Yeah.
And they're together.
Bizarre listening to you. Like, you sound like me talking about it. Like, you're like what, the third? Like,
you're not far behind.
Yeah. I mean, I'm way what they're selling. I'm way behind. Like, you guys,
I mean, bro, everyone's way behind unless you're like Bill Burr, Chris, Kevin Hart, or those guys. Like, they are. It's just when you get to that arena level, dude. I can't even fathom that. You're having a conversation with an arena full of people. It's nuts. And we lost them.
Yeah. I'm in a hotel, so
this is so perfect for the greatest average American. Like he's just like one of us, sitting stuck in a hotel room with shitty Wi-Fi.
Bro, what kind of hotel are you staying at? Because my biggest pet peeve in hotels is how the nice hotels make you buy the Wi-Fi, but a Holiday Inn will fucking give it to you with your room key.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I used to stay I'm at a Marriott, and but you have to buy it here. And I used to think that all the time. I would say it. I was like, why? Like, it was like the nicer the hotel, the more expensive the internet was. And then, you go stay at just off the side of the interstate. They can't give it away more. They're like, no, don't even. Absolutely. You can use my hotspot. You use it like the guy behind the desk, Dude,
I remember we went on vacation once with my parents, and I lived in Boston, and we were staying in New York. I was younger. And Kevin, like, what's one of the like really nice hotels in New York? Like
the Waldorf or something?
Waldorf, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly. I knew it was a W. We stayed at the Waldorf. And then my parents were like, we can't afford the Wi-Fi. Like we spent it all on this room. Like you do not get Wi-Fi on this trip. I was like, what the fuck are we doing here then? Like, let's go stay at a Holiday Inn so I can fucking stream TV shows on my computer.
That's, what's so, I always think like so crazy. Like, so you were a kid, like that Wi-Fi how old are you? Are y'all?
I'm 32. I was a teenager.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's such a it's wild. I mean, like, and that's all they want now. Like, kids, you go take our daughter. It's like, I mean, everybody asks Wi-Fi. Excuse me, what's your Wi-Fi? I'd rather use my cellular than ask someone what their Wi-Fi is. Like, just that kind of dance where you got to go. Yeah, go ahead. You ready? And then and you're like, I'm ready. And you got to sit there and you're like,
Q963T lowercase. Oh,
and if you don't get it, dude, and you got to go back and ask them again, you're like,
yes.
Hey, man. It's such an awkward like conversation. I don't even know how to bring this up, but I wasn't paying attention when you told me that first time. in another,
I was guessing.
I was guessing. I thought I could guess it, and I tried that first. So
It's so true.
Before we're like, I have my cell phone bill not set up to auto pay because we can expense it. And if it's on auto pay, I just forget about it. But there are plenty of times where I'll go out and I'll just be like, yeah, you haven't paid your bill in 3 months. So like your Wi-Fi, your phone's shut off. And I'll be in a bar like trying to pay it. And I'm like, I have to ask this bar for their Wi-Fi. And it'll take at least three trips to the waitress. I'm getting the check by the time I finally get the Wi-Fi bill. Like, I'm just trying to get on the AT&T app so I can pay this fucking bill and start using my phone again. It's
such a piece of shit. You're regressing as a human. You are now, as you're an adult, you're making more money than ever, and you're getting your phone shut off. You're doing it backwards, John.
Yeah.
Kevin sent me a text like that, probably like what, a month or two ago? You're like, yo, I tried calling you 5 times, your phone's not working. And I was just in my
like the person you are trying to reach has been cut off. I'm like, what the fuck is John? What is going on?
Yeah. You all right, buddy? You going through some times right now?
Yeah, you need some money? I can help you out here. Jeez.
Yeah.
So what was the Rogan experience like? I mean, I feel like when people make it to that show, it's not that I feel like you're actually late. Like I feel like Joe's late to getting on you, but I feel like usually for a comic, you get on Joe and then all these doors open up. I feel like pretty much all the doors are already open for you, but is that still a big moment to make it to that podcast?
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, I'm friends with so many of his friends, and then I never really got to meet him. And I mean, dude, he's the greatest dude ever. I mean, it's worth so much money now, but just is a comic and like just wants to be a comic. And I was getting told that Giannis, I talked to like Giannis, Pappas, and Norman, who's done the show, just to be like, hey, what is it like? Is it, I don't know him. Is it kind of, how is it? It's like, Giannis said it good. He's like, look, dude, I think he just likes to do that podcast because it's like, it's the only time he gets to like, just like his phone gets to be off and he gets to like hang out with a comic and talk comedy. And so, yeah, I was going to do that. So yeah, it was huge. It was a huge thing to get to do. I mean, it's such a big show and he was just good. I have a story with him, which was good, is because when I first started comedy, I was in Chicago and we went to the Comedy Store in LA. I had a friend that was in a band called the Prom Kings, and they were, so we just go to see him at the band and Rogan liked their band. And so I met Rogan when I was maybe a year into comedy because of them. And then I wanted to go up at the Comedy Store and do an open mic, but when you signed up for an open mic at the Comedy Store, you had to sign up the week before for the next week. And so Rogan was like, are you going to go do the open mic? And I was like, well, we're leaving, so I can't. And I wasn't asking him for anything. And he's like, oh, I'll call and I'll get you up. Yeah. And so he called. And so one of the first places I got to perform was at the Comedy Store. And they brought me up as Joe Rogan's best friend. And I was like, I don't even really know the guy. And he was on he's on Fear Factor, and so it was, I mean, that was a big thing.
Oh, wait,
a big part.
You said the first time you performed?
Not the first time I performed, but I was a year into comedy. So it was really the first kind of club. Chicago Zanies and the Comedy Store, the first 2 clubs I ever got to do a show at.
And it was just because you were friends of friends and he was like, I gotcha?
Yeah. Yeah. Just cool dude. And was like, and I talked to him, asked him a lot of questions about comedy, and he would like talk to you about it, comedy. And, and I'm like a new comic, like, it's like if someone talked to you guys about like doing podcasts now and you'd be like, or something, and you'd be like, I don't know, man, I've done it forever now. You don't really have all the answers for someone brand new because you're just too far kind of ahead. And you can talk about it all day, but they're not even going to really understand what you're saying. Right. And so it was like, I was, I'm asking him like open mic questions, like, what do you got to do? And like, how do you got to, and he's like, you got to go up, you got to just, it was very nice and didn't like blow me off. Like, I mean, we went to the show, to the band show, and he sat there and talked to me for a long time. And then, I mean, it always really stuck with me. And it was cool.
I think that's
at this time you have the Bieber haircut and the puka shell necklace.
I don't even think I'm to that yet. I don't think I'm even successful enough to get to
that.
Yeah, I don't think I could afford a puka necklace at that point. And so we were working our way up to the southern swoop of just,
the southern
swoop back. Like I would dream of those days, I was like, Justin Bieber's probably not even born yet.
That's crazy. I think that's what it is with Rogan. That interaction you had with him, I think translates into like his show where he's mega wealthy and mega like powerful at this point. But when you listen, it doesn't really come across like he really is just like having a conversation about the shit he likes to talk about. So he could be rich, he could be poor, he could be one listener or 100 million listeners. It just always kind of feels the same way when he talks about it. And I think it's funny that he seems to be the one who can maintain that, when I think every other comic podcaster, when they get a little bit of fame or a little bit of success, they radically change. And it's like the one dude who doesn't is probably the one guy who had the right to, because he did it so well, Everybody
we talked
else
about it.
gone.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday, I think, on the podcast, where it's like you always feel like when you do theaters and all those people there to see you, and then you're like, who are they here to see? You always have this idea, you're like, who are they watching? And you forget it's you.
Right.
And it's like, and so we were talking about that, like that, and kind of you feel like an imposter. And like, I think he was even saying, like, I think you need to have that. You don't need to be like, yeah, they're here to see me because I'm great. You got to have that, like, where you're like, I don't know if I can, people are like, got a babysitter. They're buying like drinks at the bar. And, the same way you would go see the Nutcracker, they're like watching you. And so then it's like, you kind of forget, because it's just such a weird
isn't it
thing.
there? Like, isn't it like, I feel that way with what we do. It's very strange where it's like, we just have a mic and we're in a studio with a couple of us, and you trust that the audience hopefully is pretty big out there, but you don't really get that feeling because it's not tangible. When you go to a theater and you see a few thousand people, I mean, there's no denying it, dude. Like, they love you. There's thousands of people there. You just don't know if you're good enough though. Like, you feel, it's like, you're like, are you going to let everybody down? Are you it's like, you never get used to it. And, but I mean, that's what makes you guys great too. Like, y'all still got the grind of what you were when you said Barstool Sports, and someone was like, I don't know what that is. And now y'all are like, people talk to y'all about you're on ESPN. Like, I mean, they just talk about Barstool Sports today. That you say it to anybody and they know. And so, like, but if y'all lose that, no one's going to want to watch. I know.
So it's like, funny. You got to have that. You're still chasing, and you're still trying to feel like you're having to earn this audience. And that's why people listen. As many people that listen to you guys is because you guys give that off, and that's a very real feeling, an authentic feeling, because everybody is in this world, dude, of like, they get, people get famous, like, in Hollywood's like, they're just delusional. Like they're not real people. They don't have any regular people in their life. I always talk about that. Like, you got to have a regular person in your life. You got to have someone, if you're like, I bought 2 Teslas, you need someone to be like, what, dude? Like, that's like, like, I don't even, they can't wrap their head around it. You can't just have people, it's like, we're going to fly to wherever today in private. And someone's like, I'm on Southwest, dude. Like, I don't even know. I'm in the C group. Like, I don't. Like, I
have a seat. I'm just hoping to get a chair somewhere.
I'm just hoping I might be standing. So
when I say like Barstool, I still don't give someone time to say what. Like, what do you do for a living? I'm like, I work at Barstool Sports. It's like a media company. I don't know. We do like podcasts. It's like, I'm just like, they're not gonna know what it is. There's no way they're gonna know what it is. So like, I'm still used to people like being at like family parties when we were younger, and like my aunt coming up to be like, so how's Barstool going? And I'm like, that's not what it's called. It's
S on the end. Everybody puts the S on the end. I don't know why. Yeah. It's a strange. But do you feel? I one of my regrets is always like, I think we really try to keep that average. That's why it's perfect actually with the new special, Greatest Average American, because I feel like our appeal is just trying to be average, like just appealing to the middleman, the medium people of the world. But when you do get into this business and start to succeed, and you want to be as big as you can, I think you need some level of like confidence and a little bit of killer instincts and a little bit of like recognize that you are really popular and you're not just the guy, with the puka shell necklace anymore. Like, does that ever enter your mind? Because sometimes I feel like we are almost a little too self-deprecating, and we could afford to be a little more like confident about what we're doing. I think we would be more successful. Do you think about that ever?
Well, I mean, yeah, y'all are doing pretty good. Really more success. Like you're like, that's what's holding you back. You're like, and then we can. You're like, y'all just.
I know you say that, but to me, it feels like I don't know. I'm always comparing myself to the bigger show or Portnoy or whoever's next, and I really don't feel like we made it or are successful. But that's because we have no self-esteem and we have psychological issues. But whatever.
Yeah, no, I just think you gotta keep that. And I mean, like, yes, you can't. You got to be honest and real with what you are doing. And, but you see people, they talk about like I mean, even comedians can talk about stuff where it gets real unrelatable, where they have like their third wife and she's, 20 years younger and she looks unbelievable and like, and all this kind of stuff and flying private everywhere. And then they try to make jokes in that kind of world. Sinbad said it a long time ago, like, he's like, it's hard when you do comedy because he's like, he would take the Greyhound bus to shows and now he's in a limo. And so it's like, how are you going to talk to that audience? That audience doesn't do that stuff. I mean, people make so much money. I mean, I think, athletes can have that. I mean, they're making hundreds of millions of dollars where rich people in neighborhoods make $800,000 a year and they're making that a day. And so and that's a very wealthy person. And, but it's just two different world. So you do need to have the confidence. Like you gotta have the confidence that you're like, I know what I'm talking about. And like, it comes out through that, not, it comes out with what you saying, like people are listening to what you're saying and you're like, this is my point of view and I'm taking it. And then you're 1 minute clips now. Like when you do that and you get there with your point of view and how much people like watch that. And it's a way that people watch it where that I might catch up on something that I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, well, what's this? And I can just watch it, you telling me what it is. And then I can be like, all right, I'm that's enough. They're only getting that information from you. I like if I watch your clip, I don't go look the story up. I kind of like, cause I don't, some of the stories you're like, I'm going to go spend my whole day trying to figure this story. Like,
that's what I do. Yeah.
And you're just going like, I want to just kind of get it. You get a quick gloss over and be like, all right, that's what it is. And then you can move on.
That's spoiler alert. Sometimes I do get all the shit wrong though. So don't put too much stock.
That's the best part too, though. You want that because everybody's gonna get everything wrong. Some of them you're talking, you're like, what do I know, dude? Like, I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, I looked it up the same way you looked it up. So,
we were looking at the bracket that you put out here so Greatest Average American is the new special. It's out. It'll be out on Thursday. Did you come up with a lot of this bracket? Because some of these things are so spot on. The all-you-can-eat buffet and the Costco hot dogs and the American craft singles. These are all things. Some of them are pretty, regional pickup trucks and whatnot. I don't live that life, but I live the craft singles life. And, I love a free refill. A lot of this is like spot on. A free refill. I don't care if you could be a billionaire. Joe Rogan likes free refills too. There's just certain things that
have you been there
loves
a restaurant when they charge you like a long time ago. I remember we went to some restaurant in New York and it was like Big J Okerson's birthday. And this was 12 years ago. And so the restaurant's called Ninja and it was like a super fancy restaurant. Right. And so we go to it and it's a restaurant where you're like the bill, it's going to be $1,000. It's like something I've never even seen where you don't know that you can't imagine spending that much on food. And so I was just drinking Diet Cokes and I don't know, like the concept of no free refills is not even in my head. It's just like, no, everywhere you go is free refills and they're charging me for every Diet Coke. And then I end up having a bunch of them. And it's like $80 of Diet Cokes. And my wife,
how many Cokes did you have? Roughly how many did you have?
Well, they were the little glass bottles, which means they're not free refills. I never thought about that. Like now that honestly, I'm on the restaurant side now. I go. They were pretty spot on.
Bottle, they're not sitting there at the fountain with the glass bottle filling it.
I think they poured it before they brought the bottle to. So it was like a small glass. So it's like it's not like they set the bottle down. They would pour it, and so I don't realize that they do that.
So
then I'd like Diet Cokes.
You have multiple Diet Cokes in a sitting. Like it would have been healthier to have just whiskey on the rocks.
So I know. Well, I'm actually quitting drinking soda tomorrow.
Why tomorrow?
Special. Well, I just because it was a special and I want to stop. The special comes out on the 18th, and then so I was like, let me just, I drink so much Diet Coke, man. I drink, because when you do get free refills, I'll think like, I only had 2 today. And I'm like, but I had 5, as I said at that restaurant. And you're like, yeah, keep bringing them.
Dude,
And
I
so
drink
it's
the
just-
regular. I don't even drink diet. I drink full fucking soda, and it's an addiction. It's a full blown addiction. I love it, and it's so bad for you.
They say diet's bad too. I think it makes you eat bad. That's what I'm convinced, that it makes me want, like, if you get pizza, you don't want pizza and water.
No.
You don't want like popcorn and water. Like, so it's like, I'm hoping that it kind of steers me off some of the other junk food that I eat.
Feitelberg is just straight whiskey or water, nothing in between.
That's a good balance.
It is
It's like cowboy.
All I drink all day, just water, and then at night I have a few whiskeys.
Whiskey.
I was going to ask you if you had to, because you're like to me, you're so like perfect. I was going to ask you if there's anything weird about you, and you already revealed it. You just have a Diet Coke addiction. You're like John Daly. Is that why? Because you're a golfer. You're like, I got to do what the golfers do. I got to put down an 18.
Drink pound these Diet Cokes, dude. I'm going through Diet Dr. Pepper too right now. That kind of came, like I used to do Diet Mountain Dew.
Oh my God.
And then
a grown man drinking Diet Mountain Dew is just,
well, what am I going to drink as I rewatch Entourage, dude? What do you want me to do? All right.
Greatest average.
What am I
American.
supposed to have with that?
Greatest average American, man.
You didn't subscribe to the yellow. What was it, Yellow 9? You weren't scared of that?
Yellow number 5. Yellow 5.
Dude, I never even. This is the first I'm hearing about it. So
Yellow number 5. If you had anything that was yellow colored, so yellow Starburst, Mountain Dew, anything lemon flavored, the rumor was like you wouldn't be able to get a boner. Your sperm count would be like low or something, right?
Yes, it was low in your sperm count.
Low sperm. So I'm like an 8-year-old being like, I can't eat the yellow Starburst, or I won't be able to have kids one day. Like, what? What are you talking about? Nate was just like, whatever.
I mean, that I think that was y'all. That was up north. Y'all talked about that. In the south, we were just rolling with it, dude.
Did you guys have the urban legend about Marilyn Manson with the ribs?
Yes, I did hear that.
The Little Kim urban legend.
Was that with Biggie?
Yeah, she was on tour with all the guys. She needed to get her stomach pumped because she was performing acts on all the gentlemen in the tour bus.
I vaguely that one. I
would love to know the geographical differences and things like that, because we probably did grow up with some weird shit that you didn't.
Well, the flashing of the lights being a game.
Yeah.
That stuff. Yeah.
You ever believe in any of those things?
I mean, I still don't. I wouldn't flash my lights at someone.
Right?
Like you're just in the back of your head.
It's like, I know it's silly, but why tempt fate? Why fuck with it? Just let that person figure it out on their own.
Yeah, they're gonna figure out as they ram into like another car.
like a small family gets wiped out. I was too afraid of the urban legend to flash them.
No proof to it at all. About the one where someone hides under your car and they cut your Achilles right when you go in. Have you ever heard that one? That's how they would steal your car.
They hide under your car. You get in and they just swipe your Achilles.
Yeah, and so then you drop because you can't stand, and then they would steal your car. And so when you would go to your car, in this special, I talk about watching Rescue 911, and I saw an episode where a guy sleeps with his feet out from under the covers, and a woman did, and a guy started like rubbing her foot, and I kind of randomly saw that when I was like 12, and I still to this day don't sleep with my feet out from under the covers because of that.
Yeah,
just because of that, I picture that. I can picture the image in my head, and then I just keep them under. I tried to put them out, and I'm 41, and it's been 30 years of just always picturing that every day.
Like, I won't Bloody Mary. You go in the bathroom and you turn
I would never do
their name. You would have to offer me a serious chunk of money for me to even consider doing that, because just what if I'm not interested. No, thank you.
No. I always have a theory with, I was trying to do this as a new joke. It's kind of dark, but like, I'm scared when I die, I want them to be positive I'm dead. Because what if being buried alive is a major problem and we have no idea? What if it's 70%? And you're like, and we're just all above the ground, like, hey, and I mean, people are just like, like,
that's kind of an urban. I don't even know if it's an urban legend where they said they would like dig somebody up and there'd be claw marks and fingernail marks, like, or they had didn't they have some with a bell? Like yeah. They used to just like do it like once a week. That to me, imagine waking up and you're just in a coffin. Oh my God.
They have those stories occasionally where like someone wakes up in a morgue and they're like, oh my God, that poor person. Like they woke up in a morgue. I'm like, the poor fucking mortician. That guy, that's the sad person in this story. The guy who was up, because they all live in the morgue, which is bizarre, or the funeral home. For some reason, all of them are like, yeah, this is my house. Also,
family thing. Yeah.
People up in the basement and then have their families in the living room. But like hearing that guy, just like someone clanging around downstairs, like, oh man, we did it again. Son of a bitch.
We got another one.
How you doing? Say, I want to on behalf of the funeral home, I'd like to apologize. You have to give that guy a statement. You give him a jacket. You give him just a big little jacket to leave. And you're like, you may call a cab or something? He's like, no, and he's like, I actually need to walk it off, to be honest. I need the room. Like he needs the space. You're like, well, this neighborhood's a little rough. And he's like, I mean, I was in a morgue. He's like, I'm all right. I'll be all right.
It's just in your fridge. I think I can handle the neighborhood.
yeah.
Man, what's this special like? I feel like this is the special after you've truly like blown up, at least in my mind. Like I feel like maybe when do you feel, was it Tennessee Kid? Was there a certain special or a certain moment where you were like, I've arrived and I'm here now? Because I feel like there's got to be a lot of pressure to do the first special after that.
The Tennessee Kid definitely is. So that stand-ups, that half hour was like, I mean, that was a big, because that was their idea, Netflix, and being the first one in that series that they did. And I mean, a lot of people saw it, and that was when people started coming to the shows. And it wasn't crazy. The Tennessee Kid was definitely like, you start going to theaters, Town Hall. Y'all were there at Town Hall. Like you start doing these kind of bigger shows. And so the Tennessee Kid definitely was that. And then this one I'm pretty nervous about, just because the lead up to it was just so different. And it was during COVID. You don't want it to be like, I didn't want this to feel like a COVID special. We did it outside and everybody get tested and all this stuff. What's funny is like only 100 people could come to the show. And I had a guy email me and he was like, yo, what's up with all the hoops trying to go to this special taping? I was like, are you not alive, dude? Like, you don't know what's happening? Like he just... this dude's just living his own world, just like, yo, what's up with I got to take a test, dude? Like, are you crazy? You're like, I mean, you're lucky we're even alive right now. Like, this guy just has no idea COVID's that going on.
He's been sending endless emails this whole fucking pandemic. Like, he's emailing Southwest, like, what's up? There's like not many flights coming out of town. Why do I have to do this to fly into England? He's furious with the Queen.
Furious. Yeah. Queen.com just emails her directly. Yeah. Meghan Markle, he hits up Meghan Markle. Hey, I know you're kind of in there. Hey, can you ask them what's up with the direct flights? To, like, just something like, she's like, I'm kind of going through some stuff right now. I know, but I figured if you talk to her, the flights are getting kind of sketchy, and I'd like to know what's up.
So from a material point of view, where are you like, I can see it being two ways. If I'm trying to put myself in your shoes, where it's like, I made it, I'm firing on all cylinders. This is like the sharpest I've ever been, the most confident I've ever been. Or is it like, now I have more eyeballs than ever and more expectations than ever. And does that self-doubt creep in where it's like, can I follow up the Tennessee Kid? Or is it just like any old special?
No, it's exactly like, can you follow it up? And you always feel that. The Tennessee Kid was a special that because I was on the road. I did know, like, you're like, you could feel it. You're in these towns and you're like, this is murdering. And so you are like, I believe this is good. I mean, you still are nervous because then you're like, what if I'm delusional and I have no idea? But with this one, it was like we did drive-in movie theater dates leading up to it. And so the gauge on it was a little bit different. But I mean, luckily I had a lot of the material before those drive-in dates. So I did try, like I was able to try them. I kind of knew a little bit. the timing was kind of weird. I mean, we were outside. We have helicopters fly over during the special. We left that in.
I love that.
Show.
I think that's cool. That's like the way to do it.
It was funny. We found out later there was a police chase going on, and that's because it was like, why are these? It felt like a lot.
Yeah.
And they just kept. And so we were able to I kind of riffed on it. And so it left like some real moments in it. So I hope that it's like, for me, the special is like, people really like it. They have fun. They laugh. But then also it's like kind of has got a different vibe to it. And you don't want it. I want it to be where a lot of people watch the Tennessee Kid a lot and they watch it over and over. And so you want it to feel like that. But I mean, dude, the first show, you take 2 shows. And the first show, I had 60 minutes of material and I did 43 minutes. That's how quick, being outside, it just kind of sucked down. You're flying. And I mean, usually when you do 2 shows at a special, they're always like, we got it. After the first one, they're like, we got a special. Don't worry about the second show. Just go have fun. And this one, they were like, they're like, we definitely don't have it. So, and so it was like going into it when I taped it, knowing, well, I have to, you can't have like a 35-minute sketch up top because you're like, you don't have enough time. So it was, so everybody have to figure that out. And, I mean, I couldn't hear the crowd. You can't see their faces. So it's like, you just got to kind of be like, all right, dude, I got to tell these jokes, trust that it's going good. Trust that I have tried these jokes out and just do it. And just, and so, I mean, hopefully it comes off and it looks like that.
Do you feel like you still need an hour? It has to be an hour. I know that there's kind of like, I think I was listening to Tim Dillon the other day. He was like, I'm not going to do hours anymore. I feel like half hour is the limit. And I feel like the rules have kind of changed to the sense that maybe there are no rules, but do you feel like an hour is still like, you have to prove that?
Well, I have a live show, I think needs to be an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if people are coming to see you at a big show, I mean, I would understand the logic of specials being 30 minutes. I get that. I mean, I could definitely see that if you just put 30-minute specials out, 40-minute specials, but there's still, you watch TV shows that are an hour, you still want the full entertainment aspect of it. That is what we've always done. I get the special. If you wanted to do 30-minute specials and comics wanted to do that, I do understand that. But comics are still gonna be doing an hour, and you don't want to be the guy that's just doing half hours. Right. If you did maybe one every year, that's the only reason for half hours. But that's a weird thing. You don't want to overdo it. Even if you did a half hour every year, it could get people could, it's too much. It's good to kind of back away, and then when you pop one out.
I think about it from our point of view. We do every day. There's something podcast twice a week, multiple podcasts, multiple posts, all day social media, and I'm always like, aren't you guys fucking sick of me? I'm sick of doing this. I can't believe you want to keep, but I guess it's just a different world with comics.
It's a different world
personalities.
I would want to see you every day. If I didn't see you every day, then I'm going to tend to maybe go somewhere else. Yeah. And there's comics that have been that talk about, and I'm thinking about it anyway, going somewhere else. But it's it's comics that are topical, to talk about politics and stuff like that. You'd be like, yeah, dude, you need to have your voice out there every day because if I want your opinion, I want your opinion every day. Mm-hmm. And you can't. You see people that I could like someone's opinion and they do 2 a week, and you're like, well, I won't listen to you now after the next day. I'm not going to go re-listen to what you talked about yesterday. We're in a world where the news is every day. Mm-hmm. Every day's dude, who knows what's going to happen, which is kind of fun. That's what's fun about it. You don't know.
Yeah. I mean, fights. I feel like we both felt this where it was what if today the internet's just not particularly funny, or there's no funny videos or whatever? And it took me a little while to basically bank on it always is. Yeah. They're going to give you something.
Happen today. It'll
you can find anything.
Is that how you do your podcast, Nate? Are you, I know you do a lot of read emails and shit like that, but do you get a lot of comedy from it? Do you is that spitballing where you're that might be a bit? Or do you try and work it in?
Yeah. I was definitely I actually talked to Rogan about it because I was, because you feel weird when you do, because you do come up with stuff. The point of the podcast was to be funny and to keep that muscle and just be funny and silly. And talk about nothing. But I mean, there's definitely like, I'll write down bits. I got to get over the fact that sometimes when you do it and then you go perform it, you feel like the audience will know it, especially if I post it on Instagram. If I have something in the podcast and it's not posted, because a lot of people are seeing these clips on Instagram, those are the ones that you worry that like, oh, these people are going to know this thing. They know that I came up with it on the podcast. You feel like they see where it came from. And some people like to see that. And then some people, I think, want to believe that you're coming up with this on its own, Well,
we do the live podcast, so it's obviously very different than a live, than a stand-up act. But like the first couple shows we did, I was like, we brought out our guy, Marty Mush, dressed as a Santa Claus because there's this, like we tried to do all these like gimmicks and bits. Cause I was thinking kind of what you said, like if you pay to come see a show, we got to give you a show. Whereas sometimes the podcast is just us like talking and it's funny topics, but it's not like laugh out loud humor, but it's like, I feel pressure to give more. But I think you said the people who want to see that stuff, even if they've seen it before or heard it or know it, I think there's more of those people than the people expecting, something I think they want to play the hits. They want to hear, your hit songs.
They want to be in your world. I mean, if I'm listening to you, I'm buying into your world. And so I like you. And so you want to see it. Now, if you kept going and doing that, that's where it will stop. People will, if they get to see you live for the first time and you do stuff that they know you do, then they're going to be excited to see it once again. But then after that, if you don't change it, they're going to leave. And that's what happened to a lot of the comics in the during the boom of the like 70s, 80s of the comedy boom. I've talked to a bunch of those guys. I mean, they were on Carson all the time. And they said, a guy told me, he's like, look, we were just making so much money on the road. Like all the discos became comedy clubs. Comedy was this huge thing. And they were making so much money and they were partying and all this stuff. And they weren't writing a new act. And so then when the new group came in, these guys are still doing these kind of felt timely jokes. They didn't adjust and they all kind of went off, went away. And that was that killed a lot of people.
I feel like when those booms hit and there's just money to be made, it's like, why would you not? But you got to think that like that down the road.
It's like still go get that work, but you got to write. It's still a job. It's a business. Right. And so they didn't do that. They were just partying and living it up. And, some did it, but others didn't, and like Lou,
like a writing process. Like you, like, I'm going to go sit down in this room in my house and craft jokes, or is it just kind of like you live and take notes on things?
I just I write down notes. I mean, I always wrote on stage just being in New York. That's when New York was, you would go up every night. So I never was like a sit down and write. I'm trying to somewhat try to figure it out. I mean, you feel like you never know how to create stuff when you're creating stuff. Like you just, you're looking for this like automatic thing that you're like, I need 20 new ideas. And they're like, oh, I'll just go get them. And I just go to this thing and grab them. But you never feel like you can. And you always feel like I'll never come up, especially after a special, you're like, I mean, how am I going to come up with another hour, dude?
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
So much material, right?
Oh, it's so much. And you just look at it. You're like, dude, I don't know if I can't do this. You're like, I'm the worst comedian that's ever lived. Like you get all these, we were talking about earlier, like that imposter feeling, because you just feel it. You're just like, God, dude, I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, this is awful, dude. And you don't feel like you have anything funny happening. And then but you got to think back and be like, well, the others, I did pull funny stuff out of stuff that wasn't funny. And like, so you got to just kind of do that. You got to live a regular life. You got to have them, you have your kids and you got to take a lot. You need to go do stuff with your kids. You got to make sure that you're still doing stuff and you're living that normal life.
That's why you hang out with your kids. Yeah, I'll go to T-ball. I'll go to T-ball just so I have new jokes. Yeah.
Yeah, I just sit there. I don't even talk to her. I just go, she's not even. They go, where's your kid? You go, she's on another field. It was nuts. They were giving me nothing over there. So I came over there.
These guys are funnier.
Yeah. A lot more action over here. So I'm going to pretend that kid's my kid and I'm going to tell a story about him.
That is crazy. Cause like, I remember like, I've been following you and a fan of you since you were talking about moving back to Nashville from New York because you didn't want Harper to think she was better than you. And now she's cutting promos for you. And I think she introduced you to Start Tennessee Kid too, right?
Yeah.
She did this one too. Yeah. I mean, it's like her being on Netflix. you know, I mean, did you get it? Like, so when your kids grow up and they, I mean, we only have one kid, but all she's known is me doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So like, and I'm like, you're on Netflix. That's pretty crazy, right? Like you watch shows on Netflix and you're on Netflix, and they don't like really understand it. Like
right.
It's, you kind of take away the thing that like, it was very hard for me to get on Netflix. It took many, many years, and you take that away and I'm just throwing her on and she's almost expecting, I'm like, did anybody at school talk about it? And she's like, no, nobody's brought it up. Yeah. And I'm like, you're on Netflix. You know how hard it was? Like I'm like lecturing. Do you know what I had to do to get on Netflix? They don't understand it. You know what's funny? I talked to a long time ago, Louis C.K. about it, just where he was like, it's about, because with his kids being on stuff, because it doesn't register to them in the same way. It's like too much for them to process. Mm-hmm. Like it's like, hey, I'm talking about you on this thing, and then you're on it, and they just can't process it like that we did. Or, it's like buying a new car. Like if your parents got a new car, it was like the greatest thing ever. And they would just buy some old used car. It wasn't even new, but it was just, you've never seen it. And going out to see that, and that, like, so it's like, you want to find those moments. And then now it's like, yeah, that stuff it seems normal to her. She's like, yeah, for her, truly, she's always been on Netflix. She's like,
right.
It's what I do.
Yeah. How would she know any difference? It's like, do you consciously think of, like, I get worried about, and I'm not really in this position yet, but like to spoil your kids so that they do, if you're calling yourself the greatest average American and your kids grow up on Netflix, literally on Netflix, it's not exactly average, but then what are you going to like sit there and deprive them of nice things that you could provide just so you teach them a lesson? I don't know. It's such a weird balance where it's like, how do you do that?
Well, it's a weird balance, and it's I like it because it's like it's something me and her get to do, and it's it's like a connection that we get to have, and we get to do something, and there's an end game to this with her being on these. It's like I look at it as like her introduced me that I want to keep doing it and just evolving with it, and then eventually like get to do something when she's a teenager, and like have and then have her introduce me, and have her not want to introduce me when she's a teenager, and like do something funny with it, and like bring her into that world, and like if she didn't want to do it, I obviously wouldn't. She doesn't have to do it, but I like creating something with it. And what I sell and what I'm talking about is family. It's relatable. It's like, that's why I like to, like the last special, I showed pictures of the stories I told to be like, look, these are all real stories. I'm not making this stuff up. This happened. And so that's what you want to give off. And that's why I like having her on it, is so you can see that it's like, there's not just some fictional kid. And us moving to Nashville was a big part of that. She's not in Hollywood. She's not, it's like, we're back home. She's around, she plays with normal kids. Like, she's around, we're all around just people that are not in the business, in the show business. And so she does experience she goes to public school, experience a very normal life.
You think she's going to come home to you? Like, she's probably not watching the Grammys yet, but she's probably watching the Grammys. Like, Beyonce gave Blue Ivy a Grammy, and you just get me a Netflix. Like I just get to introduce you. Like Blue Ivy winning her first Grammy, like she won it. It wasn't like Beyonce gave her Grammy. Blue Ivy got a Grammy, which is, and she didn't even get invited to the party. Beyonce was like, Blue Ivy, you won, baby. I hope you're in bed at home. It's like, look, I won my first Grammy, Mom. I want to be
a party, bitch.
I'm out. Yeah, well, that's what I'll give her a speech. I'm like, look, it's all political. There's nothing I can do about it. Like it's
gotta play the game. There's a lot of red tape.
Gotta play the game. I don't know what to tell you. Like I can't.
Oh man, I love it, dude. I really believe though, you probably are the greatest average American. I think that's exactly why the
comment. Are anymore. I think that title goes to like someone like us now. I think you're too big.
Are y'all watching Entourage? I'm literally going back to Entourage right now. Are you to that guy? Episode. I just started season 2, and I love it. Dude, I love every second.
I just rewatched it, like literally, like last week, 2 weeks ago. I just stripped through.
So good, man.
It's so good. It's perfect, and it's like just watching it, and like it's so easy to watch. And with everything going on, you're just like, it just feels so. Dude, I love it. I love it so much.
It got like the Nickelback treatment, and like things where it got too popular. and then people were just like, "Oh, it's only for like loser bros or whatever." And you watch it, and guess what? Maybe I am. You know what? But it's fucking good. It's entertaining, and Nickelback makes good music too.
Yeah,
I'm a big Nickelback fan. I mean, they're unbelievable, dude. You know, they're huge in like Canada with like I think it's Eskimos. There's I think there's called something else too though. Like that's not. I don't know. It's something. But I remember going to Montreal and they were doing a show there. Inuits. Dude, I feel like that's a worse word I'm saying. Like there's like Inuits. And they're I said on the podcast they were like Vietnamese people. I can say that word and it sounds like I'm being racist, and I'm just like, no, he's a Vietnamese, like, and everybody's like, whoa. And I'm like, no, I don't know how, I can't say Bartholomew either. So like, I mean, like, I don't know how to say these words. Like, it's not, I swear it's nothing's personal. And they're, so it's, but yeah, like they're huge Nickelback fans, and it was packed. I was with Lewis.
Eskimos just raging to Nickelback.
Dude, we were going to McDonald's afterwards, like late night, and like I mean, it's just all Nickelback fans in there. It's all and these dudes are huge. And Lewis is like almost gets in a fight with a couple of them. I mean, it was just a wild night, and it was just funny. Like, where were you guys at? They're all like Nickelback concert. And you're like, all right, they loved it, and I would have loved to go on. I love them too.
We interviewed Joe Manganiello the other day, and we were talking about the Smiths. And he was telling us that the Smiths have a huge, I believe he used the word cholo fan base.
Yeah.
He said
Cholos and cholas.
Yeah, he said he went to like the Smiths show in LA or something like that, and everyone there was Latino, which blew my mind. They said they're just big Morrissey fans.
I would love for Nate Bargatze to be like huge in the hood, just like the most awkward, unexpected fan base of yours. I mean, I feel like you probably apply to everybody at this point because it's such good humor, but I would love to see you.
You know, sometimes I do have, I've had a lot of porn stars like really like my stuff.
Really?
And my theory with it is that their world is just kind of a dirty, like, you know, not anything bad with it, but it's like
the opposite.
It's the opposite. And so like, I'm like a, you know, like it just feels like it's a complete opposite of the world that they have to live in.
Yeah,
like
and so
like
how about
you know, I don't know. I can't remember. I've had
sure, buddy.
I gotta name them off. I go, they're in both those doors behind me. Like
I love the thought that, you know, porn stars, their 9 to 5 is hot and sexy and wild, and then they're like, I need something that's the polar opposite of when I go home. Nate Bargatze. That's
here we are. They can't watch
ever.
Entourage, dude. They can't watch Entourage.
I love it, man. All right, so it sounds like you might have a little apprehension about this special. I have none, dude. I think this is going to absolutely murder, and I think anybody who thinks otherwise is crazy, yourself included. So, Greatest Average American is out.
Is it out at 3 a.m. again? It's out at 3 a.m. I imagine, right?
3 a.m. 3 a.m. Yeah.
We gotta fix that. Is it? Goes by
make a stand. You know what? Next special be like, it's coming out on Nashville time. It's my fucking special. Yeah. It comes out when for normal people, not just the West Coast. Make it happen, Nate.
Yeah, I will. That's how I'll make a big stand. I won't, you know, like I'm not gonna do it. I won't do it.
I won't do it.
I'll go to some weird, I don't know, like streaming service.
Go to crack.
Yeah, I'll do Vimeo. I'll YouTube it. I swear to you, I'll YouTube it if you don't. If you don't
right now.
Me.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks for this. Oh, how you? What are you shooting these days before you go? You've been playing a lot of golf.
I have. I gone back up. I went up to 5, but I think I figured my full swing out. Now I'm putting. Dude, I played with Shay the other day. Shay Mooney from Dan and Shay. Lost a ton of money to him, and I'm way better than him. And I could not win. I had John Augustine's a kid that played at Vandy's. Now he's a pro golfer. I mean, so we go play extra holes, and John's like, all right, I get a caddy for Nate. This is how much Shay was beating me. And then John's like, all right, I'll get a caddy for Nate. And I was going to have to pay John like $200 for him to caddy. And then we're on the first tee, and then Shay's like, I'll give you $100 straight up cash if you then also caddy for me. And so then my you know, I'm like, you're not even helping me, man. Like that, and John just, you know, John's just out of college, so he just needs all the money. He just bailed on me. I'm like, dude, and I ended up losing to Shay, and Shay laughed. If you could heal, it was like an evil laugh of just him just making putts. I mean, dude, he was putting for like 40 yards off the green and just getting it to like 5 feet. And you're like, it was so frustrating. So I'm about to work on chipping and putting. Then I'll be honed in. And I'll get it down.
Man. Love to hear it, dude. Greatest Average American out on Netflix. Go stream it. And always appreciate the time. Thank you.
Yeah, always, buddy. Thank you, guys.
Have a good one. All right, big thanks to Nate Bargatze. Let's talk to Kerryn Feehan now, who's an absolute lunatic. What a woman. You know what I mean? What a gal. Just brought to you by the P-Touch Home Label Maker. I feel like Kerryn...
Label Kerryn crazy.
Just right on the forehead. Whack. So if you want to organize your home, you want to organize your garage, you want to organize your playroom, you want to organize your office, you want to organize your closet, whatever it may be, to structure your life and I think labeling is more important than making your bed.
I can see that.
I feel like having everything, if you spent your morning labeling things instead of making your bed, I think you'd have much more relaxed, less anxious, where it's like, I know where to find things. I know where everything is. I know where to put things away. I know how to clean it, where to clean it, where to find it when I need it. When you have everything in your life labeled so that you know exactly where everything is, it's just easy peasy. So you can do this all at home with the P-Touch Home Personal Label Maker from Brother. So whether you're organizing the kids' toys or your clothes or your tools or whatever it may be, labeling around your house makes things easy and efficient. So go to ptouchhomebybrother.com. ptouchhomebybrother.com to get the P-Touch Home Personal Label Maker only from Brother. Have fun, get organized. It's ptouchhomebybrother.com. Kerryn, what's up, you lunatic? All right. Yo, how we doing?
Hi, good. Hi, guys.
What's the latest? How you been, babe?
I've been obsessed with you guys.
Continue. Do tell. Do tell.
You know how to work an audience.
I was thinking about John in the shower.
Yeah, there it is. Now we're starting to cook with gas.
Yeah. There we go.
I did something so aggressively lazy that it made me think of you. I was like, this is something I feel, and you have to like really be there with me to picture this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll close my eyes.
Close your eyes.
Take your pants off.
There's already 2 like bottles, like a shampoo bottle, a conditioner bottle, and I'm using like a shower gel or whatever. There's no room for me to plop that behind there. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're all going to fall down. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what I did. I eyeballed it. I'm like, this won't fit.
Boom, do it.
They're all still in my tub. I have no intention of cleaning them for at least a week until I have a man over. Feitelberg would leave this here. What would John?
I've always said the perfect way to describe my laziness is that when I take a piss, I won't lift the seat. And I'll know I have to take care of that in 5 seconds.
I'll have to get the toilet paper.
In 30 seconds, I got to clean that up.
Yep.
But it's still like, well, that's in 30 seconds.
It's a future problem.
So let's just take this piss right now, and we'll deal with the aftermath later.
Cross that bridge when we get there.
Yes. Even if it's going to be 6 seconds later, the bridge is right there. I can see the bridge. But we'll cross it when we get there. That is great.
I used to be so fucking, when I drank, I lived in squalor, and I would be single, so I'm like, these slobs will fuck me anyway. I don't give a shit. Let them walk over this pile of Cheez-Its that I left next to my bed. Like,
and you're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. Like, as long as you're about to put out, they don't give a shit.
I think single girls are grosser than single guys.
Definitely.
You're right.
Yes.
Totally right.
You know what it is? It's like girls, guys are just going to be like this level of slob like all the time. Girls can be neat, but when they get slobby, they get even worse than our middle level. You know, they get disgusting.
Yeah, because then we're like literally depressed. You know, like, and we'll like hide it too. Like you can walk into a girl's apartment and be like, oh, this doesn't look bad. But like you lift one thing and there's like a family of roaches. Like, hey, we've been here the whole time.
Dude, I've hooked up with girls where like it is, and like, look, don't get me wrong. I keep a fucking pantry by my bed because
Yeah.
Me and depression, we are quite simpatico. But like
This is the dry goods area.
I've stepped on like a Burger King original chicken sandwich getting into a girl's bed.
Not a wrapper. The sandwich. Yeah.
It's been there for like 3 days. I reached over after we fucked. I had a bite. Like, don't worry. This is my territory. I know exactly what we're doing here, babe.
Do you want round 2 or not, babe? We gotta free up the carbs.
Bro, I did that fucking like 3 days ago. I got no. Actually, it was last weekend. Okay, so it was probably last Sunday night. I ordered for dinner a Burger King, and it was like
John.
It comes.
That's bad, bro.
It comes
Burger
cold,
King.
right? It was, and I ordered a bunch. I was so hungry. I hadn't eaten in like 48 hours, so I got a bunch of fucking food. None of it I ate. I had a couple of fries. And then I woke up next morning next to my bed with fucking a Whopper Jr. and a spicy chicken sandwich. I think maybe it was just a crispy chicken sandwich.
I'll be honest, John. Doesn't matter.
Whatever it was, like it had been
just King.
fucking mayonnaise marinating in the fucking air for a good amount of hours, and I just rolled out of bed in my underpants right in front of the mirror, full length mirror, just stared at myself while I ate it, like fucking take it in, you shit. You fucking
You gonna take this burger?
Yeah, you watch what a fucking asshole you are.
I'm like, what song did you play before you started this short film?
No, I don't do music.
I want to hear myself chewing.
Yeah.
I want to hear myself getting fatter.
I want to hear me take this bite, have a fucking shot of mayonnaise come out the back end, and I want to hear it slap on the floor, which is exactly what happened, clearly.
Hypothetically, possibly, maybe.
You're
man. Yeah, we're.
Anyway,
You know what?
girls are closer than guys.
I was gonna say maybe you still take the crown here. Jesus.
I've evolved. Like my version of that is probably when I was like in my 20s and I woke up next to a tortilla that just had ketchup and mayo in it. Nothing else. Because that's all I had left. I had eaten like half of it before I went to bed. I was blacked out.
Can I tell you, this happened maybe.
We have to live through another one of these? How many do you have?
This one happened yesterday morning. This was just like I woke up.
What happened yesterday? Yesterday you were pretty good.
I was sober. I wasn't drunk. I was sober. I went to bed, and I woke up with just a chocolate stain in my bed, right? And I went and got my girlfriend, and I was like, I don't know what I did, but there's chocolate all over the bed. And as we're walking back into the room to show her, she asked for my phone so she could take a picture. I fell asleep on the fucking wrap.
It's like a perfect. I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a perfect dollop right on his ass.
It's still in the wrapper. It's a Justin's peanut butter cup still in the wrapper. That's why the melting on the bed isn't so bad.
You're deplorable, bro.
You guys are like the poor man's Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Let's do the chocolate thing again, dude.
Oh my God. You know what it is too? The bathroom, I think, is the real. I think, people think that guys are gross in the bathroom, but girls just have so many things and so many, you got your tampons, you got your makeup, you got 1,000 different, everything. And the whole room is just it's like a giant closet of toiletries and bodily functions. It's disgusting.
I just crush up birth control and snort it. So that it's all over the place.
Yo, if guys had to take birth control, would you trust it? Would you trust us with that?
I don't know. Maybe if I put it in a popsicle for them, like maybe if I snuck
like
it
a
in
dog.
there.
Yeah. You put it in the peanut butter in one of those Kong things, and we sit there. Like
Exactly.
I'm not opposed. It kind of is. That's one thing that has just fallen on chicks. It's just like, you got to deal with it. You got the pussy, so you got to deal with it. But I think
there's
they're
higher
kind of
risk with
developing.
us.
Oh yeah.
I just think because we've talked about this, we're like, the pussy's always just a hole. Like, your pussy can't break.
Right.
If you fuck with my testosterone, my dick might just stop working.
That's true. I like that.
I'm like, my hip hop teacher when I was in college would beg to differ about my pussy. Okay? He was broken. I was limping.
I feel your pussy. A pussy is like an escalator. Okay, so like even if it's broken, you can still use it.
Yeah.
It's not functioning at the perfect level, but it's still a functional thing.
Is this an ad for necrophilia right now?
Yeah, you can just get like Kill Bill. Like if at worst case scenario you stop producing lubricant, I get some Vaseline. We'll fucking figure this game out. But like if my shit stops working, like they do it in TV shows and movies, but I can't actually tape like a fucking popsicle stick to it. It's just
They do that in TV shows?
I mean, it's like a joke in a movie or something like that. I've
Tie it
definitely
up like
heard
a
of that
splint?
before. Yeah.
I mean, I use the thumb. You got to thumb it in, but I never use an outside help. But yeah, you're probably right with that. But I feel like I've heard about like a pill for men or a shot for men that like might be coming, but I'm just like, I don't think we're trustworthy. You know, I think I'd forget.
I've been hearing that it might be coming for a
Forever.
long time.
Yeah.
Reminds me of me and my ex-boyfriend.
Hey, reminds every girl in their 20s.
Yeah, I think that's one of those things we kind of just keep. It's like a honey-do list. We're like, we're working on it, babe. We'll get there.
Right.
Like,
We'll get to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get there.
You know what I think that is? I think there's like one head scientist who has like a wife who's like, fucking figure it out. And he's like, okay, honey, I'm getting there. I'll get to it.
And he goes home and just works on cancer. Yeah. Just lies to his wife, tells her he's working on it. He's actually curing the fucking pediatric cancer. But he's like, babe, I swear I'm working on the dick thing. It's
coming. The cum. I'm going to fix the cum problem. Don't worry. Do you make your bed in the morning, Kerryn?
I try to. I'm not perfect about it. I do think it helps, like, keep a clean mental headspace.
I can't disagree more.
I make, as someone, again, we've said that we've talked about this on the show before. I do it. I make it every morning. This morning, actually, it was a real disaster. I made the bed over the remote control. I couldn't figure out how to get to it.
Yet another reason why you shouldn't do it. You could lose your remote.
TV was on the whole time, but it's as someone who does
figure out how to get it out.
That's the excuse I gave my girlfriend. I just didn't turn the TV off. I was like, I made the bed, but the remote's in, and I couldn't figure out how to get to it.
I could see if I did that. Before I would unmake the bed, I think I would just grab a knife and like cut a hole in it. I'm not undoing this bed.
Look, I'm making a bed once a day, Matt.
Yeah, that's it.
But as someone who makes it, it has little to no effect. No, it has absolutely zero effect.
It's the biggest scam going. You know, a guy, an admiral, wrote a whole book.
Yeah, Admiral of the Navy.
And he said,
what else did he
he said, you'll change the world.
Yeah.
I was like,
I think he gave that speech at University of Texas too. I watched the full thing.
Oh yeah,
didn't tell me.
Let's talk to the United States military, which is a great bastion of mental health. let's listen to those guys. Yeah. Oh look, his fucking bed was made as he hangs from the ceiling. Jesus Christ, you know? I don't think I'm gonna talk to those guys.
One of the corners. Yeah, one of the corners was messed up, so it makes sense.
Those that fucking cults telling you to make your bed so everyone's gonna listen.
Kevin going heavy anti-troops today. Troops with a Z.
I did it with. I knew Kerryn could handle it. I knew she wouldn't give a shit.
There's something about a made bed that makes you maybe not want to go and take a depression nap, though. Like if it looks like you were just there.
Okay, so here's my thing.
Crawl back in.
I have no problem with the idea. If it works for you, go ahead. I just think that it's something that this guy wrote a book about, and therapists are kind of peddling right now. I think it's a scam.
Oh, it's been peddled forever.
Right, but
my mom used to tell it to me when I was like 8.
But I think that it's like just because they picked that. I think you could pick. I think the whole idea behind it is like you accomplish something and you get a routine going. But what I'm saying is the literal idea of these pillows and sheets being tucked in a way does not fucking mean anything. Who's to even say?
I think it's more meaningful to like work out. Like if you like fucking do like a 60-minute workout, but like there's chocolate in your bed, I'll let you know. You can.
That's what I'm saying.
Fine,
if everybody took, I don't know. I think making your bed can take anywhere from like 10 seconds, where if you just got to put a blanket over it, to like 5 minutes if you're doing the whole thing. If you took that time and did some push-ups and sit-ups, I would argue that would be a better use of your time.
I'll say this: if you've got a bed where it's up against the wall, then I think making it is an accomplishment. Because that shit is fucking impossible.
Yeah. Wait, you mean if you can't get to the other side?
Yeah.
So
if your bed's in the middle of the room, that's fucking easy.
Yes,
that's cake.
I agree.
You're totally right. That's me too. I'm like 5'1", so I'm like flipping over my bed like a gymnast to get it done.
I do the thing.
I gotta pull
you ever been like on the bed?
Yeah.
You gotta jump and pull it.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean that. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have dogs though, but they are put on this earth to fuck up when you're making your bed. They literally
because it's like a game. They're playing. Yeah.
I got it. I got this part, Mom. Is this where you want my butthole?
So I think last time we talked, I got a kick out of it at your expense. You probably didn't get a kick out of it, but we were talking about like, she's like, where's this going? We were talking about OnlyFans, and you were like, yeah, I stopped doing my OnlyFans because like I'm in a relationship and it's really great. And then like I think literally by the time the episode came out, you were like, yeah, we're not together anymore.
Stop. Over. I know.
And I was thinking, were you fucking pissed off? Because I know you were probably making good coin on that.
I want that money.
Yeah.
I want all those months back.
Yeah.
Can I invoice that fucking loser?
Reparations for that shit.
How
man.
many months was it?
I probably took like 4 or 5 off.
And you were making
just
like good money per month, right?
I make like between 20 and 40K depending on how hard I try, right?
So
like I can just let it ride. I'm just letting it ride right now, and it's making money. And this kid, and I mean,
Fuck
whatever.
you,
bless
by
his
the
heart.
way.
Ugh. I hate him.
Yeah,
but
like,
now I'm back. Oh,
this-
fuck me. Yeah, thank you.
This is a very interesting era and a very interesting like specific part of like with OnlyFans and with your relationship in this case. You can quantify a person in a relationship.
Yeah.
Be like, it's like okay, I'm happy you like him. I'm happy you're compatible. Are you 100 grand in 5 months compatible? Like, how compatible are you? I think it's you can put a dollar amount on a motherfucker now.
It's just so different. We just had such different perspectives when it comes to money. Like I've had a job since I was 14, been paying my own rent since I was 19. And he was like a trust fund kid. You know what I mean? So we just didn't see it like the same way.
Right.
And I don't want to shit all over him. It's fine. I'm back, baby. Eminem 6969. Subscribe. We're having fun on there.
Your OnlyFans name is Eminem 6969.
I'm Feitelberg. I'm a child. I'm like,
wow.
You know why? Only because in my Instagram story, I wanted to play the song "Guess Who's Back" back again. So I was like, let's tie it all in.
I love it.
Let's make it good.
I mean, that's so fucking annoying that you're rich off that. God damn it, I'm so jealous. So jealous.
I know. It can't last forever, right? I mean, I'm trying not to lead with it so much. I have a cartoon, doing a shit ton of stand-up. I have the podcast. I'm headlining, you know.
But
Do you put any of that stuff on OnlyFans? Or are you just sex on OnlyFans? Sexy
just
sex
on OnlyFans. I like to,
because that was why OnlyFans was created, right? It wasn't supposed to be like exclusively porn stuff. It was like for creators to make money off their content. Yeah. So you could just do like a fucking dildo vid and then a fucking stand-up routine. Versatile, babe.
I think you should do stand-up while you're blasting yourself.
I mean, I should, right? Go live and be like, is this a punchline?
Yeah. So what's the deal with fucking...
You can corner the fucking market on that. They back in like the early 90s, right? That was a big thing, like the singing comedians.
Yes.
The fingering comedians. Yeah. Now we're talking. I'll follow that road. Just me fucking pulling pud. Knock knock. just tell children's knock knock jokes.
Jesus Christ.
Man, I didn't know I could come to a premise.
Do you think, see, like if I was you, I think I'd be like I'm at the point now where in any relationship I'm going to be in, I know, like, here's my non-starters, here's how it's going to be for me. Like, back in the day, I probably would have, compromised on a lot more than I would now, where it's just like, this is what I need, and if you don't like it and you're not down with that, like, we're just not going to work. I would have, for sure.
Bricks, Donna.
And I think if I were you for right now, it'd be like, yeah, so here's the deal. Like, I'm a comic. You got to be able to deal with that, and I'm a this, and I'm a that. And I have my OnlyFans, and that's fucking it.
Yeah,
that's just part of the deal now because Mama makes $40K a month, bro.
I mean, if anybody who said money can't buy you happiness hasn't had money.
They're broke.
Yeah. It's like, I can't wait to move. Like, this apartment's fine, but I'm like looking at way better ones right now with like roof deck, pools, and the gym and the building and all that stuff. I'm like really excited. And there are guys out there that I'm finding that are totally fucking chill, that are like whatever, because I'm actually a very, very loyal girlfriend when I'm somebody's girlfriend.
Right, just because you
and I see.
The idea that like it's like, yeah, all right, I don't know, there's gonna be like some sexy shit of me on OnlyFans that has nothing to do with me like cheating on you or sleeping around or anything like that,
No, if anything, it would make me even like more loyal because I love you so much for being so confident and trusting us so much to like let me do this. You know, fuck out of here. Also, do you like steak? Do you want a new car? Like you're my boyfriend.
Shit, Kerryn, you keep talking, and I'm about to scoop you up, girl. We're about to be dating by the end of this podcast. Shit.
Thank you so much. No, you know what I loved? I loved your Bill Burr fucking rant. I fucking love Bill Burr so much. He he did his like SNL opening at the Stand over the summer, and I was hosting like a bunch of those nights, so I got to see it before he did it, and it's just like he fucking rules. And I would bring him up, and he's like, I love how you just brought me up to a drunk driving joke. I'm like, no problem.
No,
his wife is awesome. Did you see his wife tweet it? Because some fucking goofball, I don't even know who it was. Like, owning just because he's married to her doesn't mean he's not racist. It's like he owns her or whatever. And she goes, bitch, comma, shut the fuck up.
That is, the amount of like goalposts moving that they can do, where it's like, okay, well, yeah, he has a wife, but it's like, no, that's a pretty big piece of the puzzle to call someone racist if they dedicated their life and love to a person of color. No, you can't just butt that. But yeah, he's just, I don't even know why anybody even bothers to try to cancel or to stop him, because it's too late. That fucking.
Did anyone try to cancel him over this?
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
You always say this about Bill Burr. Every single time what happens is there are more Bill Burr fans.
No one tried to cancel him over this. I didn't even hear about it.
Yeah, no, because what happens with Bill Burr is he has so many more fans than he does haters. So by the time you get to it, it's just a deluge of Bill Burr love. But it originates from people coming at him so that all of his fans then come back over the top. It was the same thing.
I think this one originated. I love Bill Burr. I think this one originated with him being like, they're going to try and cancel me. Like, he started the conversation.
No, because they were mad that he didn't pronounce the name right. So whether or not he had said that, I think they were going to be like, oh, this is a white male who, he's racist because he mispronounced the name.
Yeah. Cancel culture. They're just so ready for anything to jump on anyone for any fucking thing ever. It's like,
but he's just not the one to do it,
because he literally doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I mean, and that's the thing with like, I don't know, a bunch of comics. Fucking, sorry, Louis C.K. is going to be successful. He has a fan base. He's going to continue to do stand up. He's funny as fuck. And think whatever you want about maybe some like pervert style shit that he did. Nothing he did was fucking illegal. And I don't know. I think everybody.
What do you think about D'Elia? Where are you at on him?
I mean, I'm such an East Coast girl. I hate LA comics anyway. But
I love like some East Coast, West Coast rap beef. Like, well, you're from California. Fuck you. I hope you die.
I said we like did a thing on Legion of Skanks, and we watched his apology, and he was like,
I watched you on that. That was unbelievable.
Yeah. And I was like, he can't say family because he keeps destroying them.
That was like a 20. They put up like a 20-minute clip on Instagram of Kerryn on Skanks where there was so many points to react to in his apology that like, I mean, you guys had to stop every 2 seconds where it was like, oh, let's make fun of this, let's make fun of that. That was ridiculous. That was stupid. That didn't make sense.
Yeah, it was just such a obviously written monologue. This like audition, like how can I save my job in Hollywood? But I think the one thing that he was like said he never did was sort of interact with girls that he knew were underage. But I think that like some lawsuits came out that he actually was.
Yeah, I think that's about to get disproven. But I don't know if anything is
really.
Like, I think
nothing's sticking.
I don't know. I guess I shouldn't speak on it because they're.
Yes, you do, Minuteman.
I've just heard like from DMs and people who are claiming that they've seen the court case and the details of the case that. And if what I was shown or told was true, there is like some proof that he knew people were underage. But that's like all speculation or whatever. That's what's going to be interesting is like I think it's bold to come back the way he did. If something does come out, it's like, well, you had to have known that, and you were out here being like, I'm back and I'm doing a podcast and here I am. But like he's got to know what skeletons are in there that might be coming out if there are them. That's what I'm saying. But it's
that's the thing. But men in Hollywood, they can find ways to be protected. I don't know if you guys watched the Woody Allen doc, but like episode 3 is pretty gnarly. It just, I don't know. It seems like Woody just had everybody on his side, especially in New York and Connecticut. Like, I think he like bought off, people and investigators and all this shit. Like,
That
that's
is
evidence
so
pretty gnarly.
crazy to me.
I don't know. I know the bullet points of that story, and that's all I need to know. I don't even need to see the documentary. I need to know all I need to know is you married your adopted daughter. Done.
Yeah,
Done.
like
That's
right.
it. That's all I need.
Like, it's like kind of like twice. You know what I mean? He did it like twice, where it was like, yeah, the adopted daughter, and then he did it again. It just seems. And then I guess in this documentary, there's like way more people, I guess, like housekeepers and nannies and people who were around who were like,
Everybody's testifying. And then you look back at the 60 Minutes interview that he does, and what, like, we were all spoon-fed this line. Like, he's like, it's not logical. I'm 57 years old, and I'm just going to become a pedophile now? And it's like, well, yeah, that's kind of the idea. You wait till you guys are old, and then you pick on the young ones. Yeah, it makes perfect fucking sense.
Also,
honestly.
you could just
Why
not have
would I
been
be a
caught.
pedophile
I was
the
gonna say,
whole
I don't know if you waited to. I think you just got caught now,
Right.
and you're playing that card. I think you've been doing it the whole time. I can't even believe
Totally.
that there are Woody Allen like apologists. Where I mean, I guess there's you need to, like with the D'Elia situation or whatever, where it's like, okay, did something illegal happen? I guess you can play that. There's that element of it where you're looking at it like legally. But I'm just saying from my like personal point of view, I don't know what's legal, what's this, what's that. You're gross. You're weird. The whole thing, like if that is like your world and those questions are circulating around you, I'm out on you. Yeah, you're gross. You're done, Woodrow. See you later. I think his movies suck too, by the way. You like Woody Allen
I
movies?
honestly don't know if I've ever seen one.
I mean, the only ones
I
I've
hear
seen-
great things about him, like Midnight in Paris or whatever the fucking shit it's called.
Yeah.
I've never. Woody Allen just doesn't. I'm not Jewish, so I don't know. It doesn't really appeal to me.
I'm not a New York Jew, so it doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, I'm sure they're like, from a proficiency, cinematic point of view, they're great or whatever, but I'm like, this movie stinks. Let's put on a superhero movie.
Too. Like, some of the writing was funny. Like, I like Danny Hall, but I love Diane Keaton, though. Like,
Was he ever like a comic, or did he just write movies? He didn't do like stand-up, did he?
I don't know. He might have.
Did he?
That's a
Yeah.
good question. I'm not sure. I don't know.
But
I always thought he's pretty funny.
How dare you?
You fucking
fucking
you
dare.
pedophile apologist supporter. Unbelievable.
I separate the art from the artist, okay, Kevin?
Sometimes with all these stories, I kind of come back to this like thought that's like not very popular, but like, what's the point of being great if it doesn't come with like all this pussy? I mean, that was the point of like being a rock star, being a great baseball player, like it's part of the reward system.
Yeah, if you can't fuck your own daughter, what are we doing this for?
No, but see, that's what I would argue with Woody Allen even more so, where it's like, listen, I don't know, if you're some down and out dumpster fucking trailer park guy, like Woody Allen was famous, you don't need to fuck your daughter. You know what I mean? Like nobody should, but definitely not if you're famous and have, all the attention in the fucking world.
There's so many Rebeccas wanted to fuck Woody Allen. and
Rebecca with a K and an H. Those Rebeccas.
K and H and double H tits.
With camp friends. She'll bring all her camp friends along. You can have them too. You don't need to fuck your daughter. Goodness gracious. What's the status of your comedy at this point? I feel like we're in a weird situation where some people are back and touring. I feel like the drive-ins and all that shit are kind of done now. But are you back on the road? Are you back on stage fully? Where are you at?
I'm going to Houston this Saturday. I'm headlining the Comedy Hub in Houston.
Let's go.
Saturday, March 20th. Really excited about that. Fucking Texas doesn't give a shit. It's a wild west there. Like,
yeah, you got people sitting on the stage with you there.
Yeah.
They're just making a point.
They're gonna do a kissing booth with Kerryn.
I have been. I'm one shot in. I got one shot of the Pfizer. I'm like, I'm out there anointing people. You want some? I got the vaccine. Get in. And then I'm in Connecticut. I'm in Fairfield the following weekend. And then The Stand is doing a grand reopening April 2nd.
Oh, sure.
Host both those shows. It's a Friday night, so I'll be there all night.
Very
but it's
cool.
gonna be. I bet there's gonna be some big fucking drop-ins.
Yeah, I would imagine that's gonna be like a special secret night where some cool shit's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Are you? Is it hard to like get back on the road? Like you're back in shitty hotels and you're back kind of like eating McDonald's and all that shit.
Living the dream.
Yeah. You love it. I have a dog, so that's my only like issue, like finding somebody to take care of him. But my manager recently has been falling in love with my dog, so that's taken care of. I don't mind traveling. I'm pretty compact. I fit in a lot of little spaces. I can fall asleep anywhere.
This bitch is talking like she's a stowaway or something. Like she gets on a overhead compartment in a train.
I fit in a way suitcase, in fact.
Yeah. No,
Fit
yeah,
everything
Louis
in a way
J. Miller,
suitcase.
He used to refer to me as his carry-on. Shove me under the seat.
What special we got cooking? What's the deal with that?
Oh, I mean, I'm ready to put together definitely like a stand-up special and put that out there. Put that on my YouTube, starting to grow. But I also have an animated series called Kerryn Sucks. The first episode is out right now on YouTube. The second one should be out April 1st.
What's that about? Is it just like your life?
It's my life. I get cursed by a witch. There's a lot of great voices in it.
Cool.
Rich Boss, Bonnie McFarlane, Sherrod Small, Adrian El Palucci, so Derek Gaines.
Goodness gracious. Yeah.
So it's been fun. It's fun. I didn't know I would enjoy like directing comics, like reading these lines, but it's fucking fun. It just turns out to a hang, you know, like
What I think is so interesting, that like the brotherhood of comics is so thick, like so strong, probably more so than like, I don't know, I can't even think of like an industry that would compare. Like, you know, athletes don't even stick together like this, or singers, whatever. Like whenever somebody's doing a project, you see everybody's involved in it. Like it's a who's who coming out of doing either a cameo or opening for or whatever it is. Is that like that's just like favors? Like you're just calling on your friends and being like, you want to be involved? Or is it like, I feel like it's just like, and when the time comes, you'll do the same for me sort of thing.
For sure. You know, it's like we actually, a lot of us are actual friends. It's like why it's the best job on the planet, because that's why it's hard to, I think, like date comics sometimes, because people see it's like, your job's so fun. You're just hanging out with like all these hilarious people. And it's like, sorry.
Right.
I picked
Like when I need to miss like a family event for work, but work is me talking about like, you know, Odell Beckham took a shit on a girl. It's like, I don't know. It doesn't seem that important, but that's what I do. That's the same thing as you needing to like hit a deadline with your fucking reports. I don't know.
That's one of my favorite Nate Bargatze jokes, when his wife, she's like, you never laugh like that with me. And he's like, yeah, I hang out with professional comedians. Like, you're not that funny.
Dude, today on this week on Two Bears, One Cave, Bert was talking to Tom, and they just finished like a segment that was just like so funny. They're both like exhausted from laughing, and then Bert's like, I gotta go to lunch with Leanne after this. Like, how is that conversation gonna compare to this? How could I possibly do that afterwards?
It's hard.
Yeah, I mean,
I've had that fight where it's like, how was work today? And I'm like, well, I could talk about like one of the voicemails or one of the segments on the podcast, but like, you're not going to keep up. Like, so I'll just say work was fine.
I don't really want to hear your opinion on
I'll be
it.
shitty. I know, you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
I'll be shitty if guys hit on me and if they go for the neg too early, like once we're friends and we can get in a neg zone, you can like sort of do that. But if they try to hit me with it and then they'll be like, well, Kerryn, I thought you had a thick skin, right? You do comedy. I'm like, yeah, but you're not a comedian.
Yeah,
like,
you're not good.
Not at the table.
Yeah.
You're just hurting trying to hurt my feelings.
Like it's a very whether you're a comic or not, if you're trying to play that card, I feel like that style of like,
you just gotta wait it out. It has to be organic.
Yeah.
You'll get there. Like I love being fucking made fun of. Like don't get me wrong, but like just wait
it's a fine line too. It's like it's got to be funny first of all, and then it can't be too hurtful, because then you're just gonna be a fucking asshole.
Totally.
Does that
Bonnie McFarlane, one of my best friends, just she recommended me, and Hustler just did a feature article on me, and we took some very naked pictures too.
You're gonna be in Hustler?
I'm gonna be in Hustler.
Mama, I made it. Check off the bucket list. Put it on the fridge. Wow.
Yo, your OnlyFans is gonna pop. After that. I hope you mentioned it in the article.
Why take it down now, right? You might as well leave it up.
Ramp
and see
that
if I get,
shit
like, a hit from it.
up.
I would imagine
I
you're gonna
know.
get quite the hit from that.
We had a girl the other day. We're trying to get more YouTube subscribers, and we said once we hit 60,000 subscribers, we're gonna release this video that these guys filmed. And then this chick on OnlyFans came out and said, like, for anybody who subscribes to your guys' channel, I'll send like a private video to them. And I was like, let's go. Let's do more of this crossover. So if you would like to, if you would like to make a bunch of videos for our fans, we could work something out here, Karen.
I love business deals.
Yeah.
I'm always making deals.
I was like, when shameless YouTube plugs meets shameless OnlyFans plugs, here we go. It's a magical world. Magical
It was
world.
so fun though. I felt like a model. I was like laying there, I'm like topless or whatever. I'm like, these dumb bitches get to do this for a job. I'm like, this is so easy. Like, I'm not a fucking model. I'm like, God, if only.
Now,
but I don't think it would have worked if I tried to, like, I wouldn't have had any audience if I was like younger. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I see these chicks on there on OnlyFans sometimes. They're like, 3-month bundle for $6.99, and I'm like, your pussy is so new. So much more than this.
But that's the thing. So you have the audience, and you're not like shy about it. So like, if you're trying to do the anonymous OnlyFans thing, how do you even grow it? How does that even happen? I guess you got to just be so fucking good that it's word of mouth.
I don't think you really know human like sexuality if you think that that's sustainable and really going to grow. I don't know. Maybe some people are just into torsos and nothing else, but I think like human nature is more like, I want to see somebody that I'm not used to seeing do this shit, fucking do this shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
well, that's like the pinnacle of it for sure, where it's like, I've seen her on stage. Yeah. I know her jokes. She's funny. And now I get to watch like how she is in the bedroom. That's amazing. But what is funny is always like, you always want, I said like with the rise of the anonymous shit, it's like, okay, yeah, I can see your pussy, but now I want to see like your eyebrows. You know, whatever you're not showing me is what I want to see, because it's, you know, the forbidden part. I want to see that bitch's ears. She got big earlobes or what? I don't fucking know.
I have one foot guy very mad at me right now.
Why?
He likes me long letters. I don't give him enough. I don't create enough. Can I tell you how much core it takes to hold your feet up like this? Can you guys just send him this?
I was gonna say, you're giving away the goods right now. What's so funny is that happened right there. She was willing to do that, and we laughed. But to someone, that's the same as if she just showed her asshole. You know, that is the same thing in their mind as if she just bent over and spread them. It's crazy. The feet, but the feet thing is so easy. Fuck your core strength. Just sit there and take goddamn pictures of your feet.
Rip a few sit-ups instead of making your bed in the morning and pop those feet up.
I'm just picturing Kevin being my wife in the background, like, put those feet up, bitch. I want to go to Tulum.
I would fucking, Kerryn, I would pimp you out so hard. I'd be sitting there painting your toenails at night, rubbing lotion on them. I'll be like your foot gimp or some shit. I'll be your pimp and gimp, whatever you want.
I'm like taking a dump. He's like, this is for someone. Someone will buy this.
Honestly, the weirder the shit gets, that's the higher they pay. I'm be like, listen, babe. Listen, I'm just gonna like chop your pinky toe off, okay? There's really a market for it, I promise.
There's this dude in fucking Toledo who's gonna pay $17,000 for your pinky, and guess what? Daddy needs a new car.
I want a Tesla. See you later.
Kevin comes back from fucking Ace Hardware with a tree clippers. What's that for? Don't worry about it. Go take a nap.
I'm setting up the studio, babe.
It's time for your Benadryl.
Honestly, I mean, I do sometimes wonder. Like, I really think if I was a girl and looked like you, or if there was some sort of market for a guy who looked like me, I would absolutely be doing this. And I'd be doing it.
I keep trying to get Nikki Glazer to do it. I'm like, she's like, you know, this prolific, like she's this vegan. I'm like, you could start an OnlyFans and make $1 million and free every factory farm animal like in the world.
Like, how much are you about that life, Nikki? Prove it. Put your money where your mouth is. Any progress, or is she a hard no?
No, you know, she like moved back in with her parents for a long time. I feel like
that'd be tough.
She's in like her and Andrew in like the fucking Grand Caymans now.
Yeah.
They just like live there together.
Colin is just riding that Glazer wave. It's so funny. I love it.
I can't. I just picture him with sand in his belly button and he's fucking drooling and gumming down a chicken sandwich. Ugh.
That was such a.
I love it.
That's like pure disgust.
I hate watch more of Andrew Collins' content than anyone else in the world. I'm like, oh, I'll post strangers. I'll be on the train. I'm like, look, he thinks this is funny.
Like, how many more times am I gonna read one of his fucking Instagram, his iPhone notes, one of those goddamn notes posts?
I know. So infuriating.
Oh man, I love it. And so you're in New York, right? And you're not planning on leaving, are you? You're not one of these people who's gonna flee.
No, I mean, unless I get a job, but I wrote some.
Not unless someone pays me more money. yeah, I'm here for good too. Until someone's like, "Yo, how about this for
this is better.
Toledo?" I'm like, "Sure, works."
I love the East Coast. I prefer the East Coast. East Coast girl. I like LA for like a visit here and there or like a job, but no, I like it. I like it here.
Yeah, I feel like
I have a new crush.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Who is it? Just tell us.
Just
tell us your crush, you
Do you
pussy.
ever like go through a breakup and then put all the projections like of like a new relationship on someone way too early and like start like fantasizing?
It's called
about,
life.
Like,
Never.
Life, right? Like I've like choreographed our wedding dance like in my mind. You know?
Oh, totally normal. Totally normal. Yeah. That guy should run for the hills right now. Yo, I'm watching this show called The One, where the premise is you pluck your hair, you give a DNA sample, and this company can match you with your soulmate.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously like this crazy sci-fi made up thing or whatever. Would you do it? Would you do it if that was real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like,
So
oh
sad.
my God, how pathetic. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I'd be first in line.
Like, yoink.
Yeah.
So
I'm
how about
planning my
this?
wedding dance with a man I haven't met yet. Yeah, I think I'd try and find the one.
This was what was so interesting though, and it ties into the crazy girl. So I got to the next episode last night, and there's one of the storylines. There's this girl, and she's married, and she starts kind of acting weird and slinking around, and you realize that she's matched. And that's why she's being weird. That's what you think. And then this last episode, I found out she plucked his hair and went and found his match and is now being like a crazy girl stalking his soulmate. And she's like, how, right? She's like, how am I, she's talking to her girlfriend. She's like, how am I supposed to live? And the girl lives, of course, they're both in London. She's like, how am I supposed to live knowing that his soulmate is right there and could run into him in Starbucks, could run into him at the bar? Like, what am I going to, I think she's going to end up killing this bitch. I think she's going to end up murdering her.
I thought you were going to say, how am I supposed to live? And she lived too.
Yeah. Like, could you, I mean, that's next level of the crazy stalker girlfriend or just stalker girl where it's like, yeah, you know, you stalk his Instagram, any girl that follows him or any girl that comments or whatever. Now you pick out the genetic soulmate. Imagine what you would do to that chick.
Psycho. Oh my God. I'm crazy. I'm like jealous and like, I'll do something to like.
Like, Kerryn, I could take one look and be like, oh boy, she's a handful.
She's like you can look at Kerryn, she's like, she's a handful in a good way, she's a handful in a bad way.
Yeah, both ways. You don't have a lot of casual nights with Kerryn, I feel like.
Casual nights with Kerryn. I could see that being a series.
It's either fucking wild sex or a fucking you dodging glasses being thrown at your head.
Yeah.
Or maybe both at the same time. Yeah. Maybe that's part of the wild sex.
It's Netflix and fuck or Netflix and fight.
You used to date Lewis, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that must have
Lewis.
been a fucking shit show. You two maniacs.
We were insane. We were crazy. There was a time we were both sober for like a year. And I wasn't drinking. And then towards the end of our relationship, we started doing copious amounts of cocaine. Really bad. We were both just like, because we still like love each other. And I bet Lewis will be in my life forever, probably work together forever. I just adore him. But like, we were not meant to be a couple. Mm-hmm. So I think we were just like, we'll just do coke until one of us dies.
Can't be in a toxic relationship if one of us is dead. Wow, that's
If it's a way to go out, it's a pretty fun way. Like,
Honestly?
let's just see which heart gives up first.
You know-
see which one of us is the bigger pussy.
In a weird way, that's the most romantic thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. That's some Romeo and Juliet shit. That's actually
Right.
people don't know that. It was just coke he was doing.
It was just blow.
he was dipping fucking Juliet's nail into coke and
No, he has a new girlfriend now, and her name's Kerryn. So I call
Get
her
the
the other
fuck
Kerryn.
out. That's a pretty
yeah,
rare
yeah.
name, Kerryn.
yeah, Karen's a very odd name.
She's a Jew. It's Kerren. Mine's Kerryn.
So you went from the
mine's
Irish to the
better.
Jewish Karen? Yeah, mine's better.
Right.
Yeah, that to me, recognizing that you're not actually made for someone and just doing destructive habits that undo a year's work of mental work.
Only
is-
way I know how to have a relationship.
I'm gonna say, to me, that sounds like a little
Absolutely.
something I call romance. All right, girl. Well, we appreciate the time as always. You're a ball of fun every time. So thanks for coming through.
Thank you so much for having me on, you guys. I really appreciate you sharing your stardom, leveraging your fame, sharing your audience.
Yeah.
I can't say thank you enough.
Yeah, something like
Well,
that.
with all our fans, go get tickets to Kerryn's show in Houston this weekend, Fairfield next weekend. And I want to come to that stand show. Can you get me tickets if they're sold out?
Absolutely.
Hell
Front
yeah.
row.
What was that, April 2nd, you
Hell
said?
yeah. Yep.
April 2nd is the
Friday.
return of the stand. That should be dope.
I'm
So-
gonna try and buy them right now, but if they're sold out, I'm gonna hit you up.
And the podcast
up.
is what? OnlyFans? Feehan?
OnlyFans. That's right. New episode every Friday. It's on YouTube. Me and my little co-host, Jared Schwartz. He's a little racist Jew from Staten Island. I love him.
I feel like you have like the way you describe that, it's almost like a gnome you take out of your back pocket. Like,
Yeah.
here's my opener, here's my guy.
I feel like I've seen pictures of you guys on the couch together. He's bigger than you, right?
He does not seem like a small guy at all.
He's like 2 feet taller than me.
And of course, I guess, Eminem 6969 if you want to go get down with the OnlyFans.
Check it out.
All right, thanks, girl. Catch you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Little update for you, because 73% of you sons of bitches still are not subscribed. It used to be like 85% of people watching our videos.
I think it was 94.
At one point, it was 95. Now we're down to 73, which is a good start. But I need that number to legitimately be like 95 people who watch, 95% watch are subscribed.
Yeah, you subscribe.
Like, I'll give you some people just show up and watch. But if you're watching our videos consistently, or if you even watch one video like a decent way through, just subscribe, because it doesn't affect your life at all. It affects ours so much and not yours. It makes your life easier. It makes your life better. It tells the algorithm
makes
stuff that you like, and it
both our
feeds
lives
you
easier.
more YouTube videos that you're going to enjoy, and it helps us dramatically. Just do it.
Please.